Bro, I'm gonna try to make like $20,000 this week trading gold. All right, 3 more minutes, turds. I keep getting sent to the webinar registration. Any help?
I don't understand that.
Raul. Raul, they're saying you sound muffly.
Yeah, I see that.
Poll in progress. Oh, questions. Okay. All right, guys, this is how it's gonna go. So when we get started in 2 exact minutes, that being 1 minute and 20 seconds. So Raul is actually gonna go over his strategy first, and then I will take over from there. It's a little bit different.
see it on the PC instead of the phone. You're only allowed to log in through one device. That's why. Because if you log in to 2 devices, that's 2 seats. So you're only allowed to log in from one device.
Let me see here. All right. How the fuck do I put my mic here? Can you hear me? Okay, select microphone Yeti.
Can you leave and rejoin? Yes.
Your role speak.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
100%.
Hello. The fuck? Headphones. Oh wait, here. Wait, now it's talk.
I'm trying to fix my webcam still. I don't know why it's not fucking
Lit.
working.
All right, we got a minute left. Fuck your webcam. I'm beautiful. People want to see me anyways.
Your head is so fucking bald. I see reflection coming off of it.
You're a bitch. All right, roll, take over.
All right, I'm gonna get started. Anyways, let me.
Yes, I only trade gold. Let me see here.
Okay.
Oh fuck! Wait, hold up.
Bald billionaire. You know, I'm gonna make another poll. Daniel should go fully bald. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Bitch.
So gold. I'm just gonna get started right into it. Whenever I trade gold, I always have my quarter points, my monthly key levels, which is more or less like a stronger level of support and resistance. And again, support and resistance should always kind of be more or less considered a zone. So starting off on the monthly time frame, one thing that I really like to focus on mainly is the actual individual candlesticks themselves. So if we look at the monthly here, we could see that prices close above these candlesticks highs here, along with price rejecting the downside here. We do have a monthly 1550 moving average, right? Wait, can everybody hear me? I just got a message that my mic's kind of cutting off.
I can hear you perfect.
Okay, anyways. So typically the monthly is just more or less like a quick look, looking at this current candlestick, looking at this candlestick. One thing that I do notice through gold is that price more or less has tested the previous month's highs over here, right? Along with the moving averages currently being blue over red. And for those of you asking me what moving averages I have the simple 20 and 50 MA. So if that's what you want to kind of test out as well, you can always try those moving averages out instead of more or less faster moving averages. So to go over the moving average real quick, the 20 moving average is more or less for a short-term trend. I guess you could say it's more or less for a trend that's pretty much rejecting a 38.28 trend that's really steep versus the 50 moving average where price is more or less in a really big kind of swing trend where price you typically see it rejecting the 50 and 618 moving average. So the way I like to use these moving averages is if price is above both moving average, then I'm buying. If price is under both moving average, then I'm selling, right? But if price breaks a 20 moving average, then I'm going to look for price to reject the 50 moving average. It's kind of as simple as that when it comes to the moving averages. But anyways, the weekly time frame, this is why I like to use my monthly levels as well here, my weekly key levels, right? So if we really quickly zoom out on gold, this monthly 1555 level prices broke above this weekly key level, came back down, retested and rejected it here. As you can see here, we have support all throughout this range here. Here we have resistance, here we have support, right? So seeing that this is more or less a stronger level, looking at gold here, we can see that price is broken above, came back down, retested, and so far it does seem to be like gold is rejecting that level. And something that a lot of people are confused about, typically if price is going to be trending bullish, what's going to happen is with a new daily candle or a new weekly candle, the actual candlestick itself has to make that day's low before continuing to make that day's high. Now, sometimes it's not always going to be perfect. It might make the day's high and the day's low and then continue to make another high. But typically, when we have an open of a new candle, it'll make the day's or this week's low and then go up and make that week's high. So typically, we'll see price continue to trade with the trend around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Monday is typically more or less just kind of like a pullback, if that makes any sense for the higher time frames, right? Now, on the daily time frame, what I always look at as well, along with structures, is fibs. So point A and point B. How I like to place my fibs is from the lowest point of the swing to the highest point of the swing. Everyone can see my screen, right? Because I just got another message. I can't see your screen. All right, I guess it's not one person. What's
No,
my
I can see your
fibs?
screen.
What's my fib settings? These are my fib settings for those of you that want to copy them really quick. Just take a picture with your phone and then we can move on. I only use the 38, 26, 18, and 50%. I don't really look at the 786 and the 88.6.
Yeah, I've never used a fucking 88 ever in my whole
Yeah.
entire life. I feel like it's the stupidest fucking level in the damn Fibonacci world.
So let's do a quick lesson on fib. Fibs isn't really anything that's too special to me. To me, I just kind of have it in my toolbox. I use it for Confluence as well. Right. When it comes to Fibonacci retracement, you got to remember the only reason the tool is actually used is to measure the retracement itself. It's nothing really special, if that's what you want to call it. Right. So if price rejects the 38.20, then typically we'll have a stronger move to the upside or the downside. And the lower price actually retraces on the PRZ levels, the actual weaker the trend itself is. So that's pretty simple there. But anyways, looking at gold again on the daily time frame. So from this impulse, from this low to this high, here's we can see prices rejected the 38.20 twice here, where we do have this monthly key level at 1550, where we do have these previous structure highs. So what I like to do typically is look for the most confluences as possible. And pretty much what I'll do is on my trading journal, I'll have multiple time frames. So I'll have weekly, daily, H4, and then M30. I don't really look at H1 all too much because typically M30 is my entry time frame, right? So I'll always keep my entries in between the M30 and hour time frame, right? Do we got a recording from the, yeah, this is all being recorded, right? So pretty much I'll list all my confirmations off for the weekly and along with my bias, same thing for the daily, same thing for the 4 hours, same thing for my entry time frame, right? So if you get into the habit of that, what you're doing at that point in time when you're listing off multiple confirmations is pretty much you're making quote unquote a high probability setup. The more confirmations you have on one time frame, the higher the probability the setup actually is to play out in your favor, right? You also have to remember, right? You can't be in the mindset that you're going to win every single trade, right? If you win every single trade, then obviously, you'd be a multimillionaire, right? So you always have to manage your risk as appropriate as possible according to your account size. But this is what I like doing typically on a day-to-day basis is always practicing a top-down analysis. So I'll do this twice a day, one in the morning before I actually start trading and entering positions, and once at night to see more or less like an overview of what happened during the day and what could possibly happen tomorrow, right? But anyways, on the daily time frame, like I was saying, as you can see, typically price likes to ride above these moving averages, more or less like a dynamic support and resistance level, right? So since price more or less rejected the 20 moving average here, I'm actually going to look for price to trade higher. So I'm expecting this day's low to be formed before obviously the day's high actually be formed, right? Now on the daily time frame, also what I like doing is setting up my basic levels of support and resistance. So I'll use horizontal rates for this one. So I'll have one level here, that'll be red. Then I'll have a level down here for my overall median for the level of support. So more or less, more major levels, if that's what you want to say. More or less, I'll find the median of that level itself too. Okay, so on the daily time frame, as you can see here, price is broken above this level of resistance. So one thing you could possibly expect from gold is for price to actually come down, test that level before continuing to go up and to go bullish. But typically that's only going to happen when there's more volume within the market, right? 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, all I'm simply looking for is for structure itself. For those of you that are enrolled in my course, you'll know that this is a 3-leg extension confirming a new trend, right? So typically with a 3-leg extension, what we're going to look for is this is more or less a high. This is a higher low. This is a higher high with structure itself. So what we're going to be looking for in this 3-leg extension is actually to buy on the first higher low point. It's as simple as that. So now that I've identified that price is trending bullish, I have to ask myself, okay, where's pretty much the best entry opportunity to hop in on the next swing higher, right? So before we do anything else, I'm going to actually mark this level off here as a level of resistance. I'm going to actually make this blue, right? So fibs from the low to the high, since price is at a high and it's more or less just consolidating now in this Asian range. There's no real great setup to look for currently. But regardless of the fact, this wouldn't even be an evening star here. So anyways, now that price is more or less formed a higher high, that's when you want to pull out your fibs to look for the best entry opportunity possible. And you have to look for where you see the most confluence. The first thing I automatically spotted was this level here, this 50% to 38.20. Why? Because we have this daily level of previous support or previous resistance. Now I want to see if this level will actually hold as support and see if price will bounce from this level and continue to go up there, right? So you're not just pretty much going to enter anywhere. You want to structure your trade before you even enter the trade itself. So pretty much looking for price to pull back somewhere into this range before continuing to go higher. And again, typically the market more or less moves in waves, like I said previously with structure. So once price forms a new higher high, it'll come down, form a higher low point, and then continue to trade higher, possibly to this extension level is what I'm going to be looking for targets. Now, before you enter a trade, you have to know where to get out if you're wrong and where to get out if you're right. Let's just say I were to enter somewhere along this area here. My stops are going to be at this 618, and then my targets are going to be this negative 27 extension level. Notice that we have a positive risk reward ratio being a 4.25 here on this pullback strategy, right? So anytime price enters this zone, the entry strategy is going to be solely based off of the individual itself. Some people don't really like to wait for a confirmation because you'll have a bigger stop loss if you wait for an engulfing. Some people might just enter based off of a limit order, right? It's really not too difficult. The best thing you can do is obviously simplify the strategy as best as possible, right? And make sure it fits your personality itself. Me personally, I don't want to enter based off of a limit order, because if I have a limit order at this 38.20, right, what will happen is price can actually continue to go down and actually hit my stop loss, and I would have never gotten a price action signal. So for me, what I like to do is use multiple time frame analysis to actually end up getting in on the trade. So if I'm on the 4-hour time frame and price has entered my zone, what I'll do is I'll go down to like a 30-minute time frame and look for some form of a double bottom or an inverted head and shoulders when price is in this area here. Once that pattern actually does form, then I'll trade it as a reversal pattern on that time frame and look for price to continue in the actual trend. But anyways, that's kind of more or less a simplified version of the pullback strategy for the 4-hour time frame. It's pretty much the same thing when it comes to lower time frames, when it comes to scalping. Typically, when I scalp, all I'm looking for is for price to reject the moving averages, and I'll look for price to come back up to its previous highs or its previous lows. That's more or less my scalping strategy. So notice how, let's just say right here, right when price broke above this level of resistance here, right? All I look for, again, point A, point B, right? We have the 38.20 in this entire zone here, along with this previous level of structure, right? 30-minute time frame. I went down to the 5-minute time frame, waited for price to kind of come here. It formed that double bottom. My entry was after this variation pattern. My stops were at the fib extension level. and my targets were this negative 27 extension up here. So fairly simple setup. Again, I really don't like to overcomplicate my trading. Like I said previously, in this case, my higher time frame was a 30-minute time frame, so I went down to the 5-minute time frame to look for my double bottom entry. And I did end up getting that. So you could see that my target was this negative 27 extension level since price rejected the 38.20. Now, typically, if price rejects the 38.20, I'm going to look for this negative 618 extension level to be reached because that's the most aggressive PRZ level. So typically we'll see the biggest move. Okay, am I actually cutting in and out, or is that only him?
You're not cutting out for me. It might be his internet. I don't know if he's connecting to Wi-Fi or not, but either way, quick question, just to kind of stop this for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm getting a shitload of DMs from people saying that, hey, look, I paid for it, but I can't get an email. And then, so I don't know what the fuck is happening because everybody else got in here. So I don't know
I don't know what's going on. Everybody else was able to get in here. I mean, there's 311 people, so I want to say 140 people aren't in right now. But regardless of the fact, everyone will have access to the recording. But anyways,
all right, Ro, let's show the gram a few of your entries from last week. Why you took these trades.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. So I'm going to go over pretty much the trades that I took last week. Real quick, does anyone have any questions on the trend trading strategy, the pullback strategy? The one thing, damn, for those of you that are saying I'm talking fast, I'm literally trying to talk as slow as possible. What the fuck? Their comprehension level is down there.
You're a robot, my nigga. Well, guys, and then I'm going to enter on the 50 and the 618, and then the 618, I'm going to go to the 318, and then TP1, yeah.
What can I say, bro? I don't fuck around when it comes to trading. What can I say?
So I'm going to look for these EMAs to cross, and then I'm going to run my Fibonacci, and then I'm going to go from here. But you see that? I'm not going to enter here because that's how Daniel Savage enters. Wow. But, yo, I know you got, fast cars, Raul, but damn, shit.
I live that fast lifestyle. Fast jet skis, fast cars. What can I say? I like shit to move quick.
Shit. I don't even know why your pullout game, bro.
Bullshit. That shit is quick. Let me tell you. Anyways, let's ignore that. Anyone have any questions on the pullback strategy? The one thing I will say about pullback strategies is that they lose a lot more than they win, probably have around a 40 to 45% win-loss ratio, but it's compensated by a higher risk-to-reward ratio. So I'm going to go over this strategy. So I do have different accounts for different reasons. One of my accounts is to trade basically only based off this 4-hour time frame here, right? So as simple as I made it, right? Here we have this level of support here, right? I'm going to go over this entry first that I did on my swing trading account. Here we have this level of support here, right? So I'm actually going to draw this out first. Let me get rid of this. I'm actually going to whiteboard, right? When it comes down to support and resistance, right? Let's just say this is a level of support and resistance, right? Here we have resistance, here we have support, right? If price does something like this, right, then what you want to look for is for price to come down and test that level again to see if it will hold, right? If you see your price action signal, let's say this is a bearish candlestick and this is a bullish candlestick, then that's a signal for you to enter, because what could happen is price could actually break under and continue to trade lower and do something like this, right? So this is kind of the case over here with this setup. So I believe it's this one, right? So notice how price broke above this level of support here, right? All I looked for, or this level of resistance, previous support, whatever the case might be, right? Just, resistance, support, right? All I looked for was for price to come down and see if this zone will hold as a level of support again, right? Now, really, it was as simple as that. Moving averages were blue over red, and I had a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, right? Notice all the wicks to the downside as well, meaning that buyers are currently holding that level, right? All these wicks to the downside. So right once price gave me that bullish engulfing, that was my entry signal. My stops went under these lows. My targets was this negative 27 extension level, which as you can see got hit on Friday. As you can see, the pullback strategy is compensated by a higher risk to reward ratio. This specific trade gained me about 3 times my current risk there, right? So about a 56 pip risk for a 180 pip gain. And one thing I want to go over, if you guys are using proper risk management, if you have a 10 pip stop versus an 100 pip stop, that doesn't matter, right? Because you're still going to be risking the same amount of money. Let's say you have a $10,000 account risking 1%. Regardless of the stop loss size, you're still risking $100. All that's really changing with this 10 pip stop versus this 100 pip stop is your lot size, right? I know a lot of people are like, oh, that stop loss was huge. It doesn't matter, right? People that complain about huge stop losses typically don't like big stop losses because they like to over leverage and end up blowing their account time and time and time again, right? So like I said again, right, price pulled back to this level of support, right? We had the 38.20, we had the bullish engulfing, we had the blue over red moving averages, we had the rejection of the downside. So right there alone is 4 confirmations. If I were to more or less dumb it down, right, confirmation 1, 38.20, confirmation 2, blue over red, confirmation 3, previous level of support, confirmation 4, bullish engulfing candlestick, right? 4 confirmations. To me, that's a pretty high probability setup, right? Stops under the lows, targets, it's negative 27 extension level. And it was as simple as that. That's kind of the reality of it. So that's one trade I ended up taking last week on my swing trading account, right? So now the rest were on my day trading account. So let me go over this, repeat the confirmations so I can write it down. I mean, the video is going to be recorded. I don't really want to go over that too much, but like I said, again, 38.20 on fibs, bullish engulfing candlestick, previous level of support, blue over red moving averages, right? So like I said, the best thing for you to do, right, when it comes to these support and resistance levels is once price breaks above one, such as this example here, wait for it to come back down, test it. And if it rejects and you have a price action signal, okay, great. You have a high probability setup, right? But anyways, let's go over pretty much the best trade I had last week where I did make 14K off of this one move. At what time of the day do you typically execute your trades? When I'm day trading, I only trade during the London to New York session. Typically, you'll see more volume in gold when it comes to the London to New York crossover. Why would that be the zone rather than the next higher low? Well, you don't know if this is going to be the actual higher low, right? Because price just formed a high, right? This could have been a lower high at this point in time. Anyways, I'm going to go over this position over here. Right, so let's kind of ignore everything past this level here. So this is the only trade that I ended up taking outside of my typical trading times, which was, are you going to trade tomorrow on the US bank holiday? No, that's what I'm going to end up trading tonight on the London session, right?
Literally everybody's trading London session tonight.
Yeah, because the banks are closed tomorrow. There's no point for you to trade on US bank holiday because there's going to be barely any volume.
Yeah, so if you guys are trying to trade tonight, I'd definitely be looking at the London session just because that's where a lot of equity will be in the market. So them take profits getting
gotta remember
smashed.
You guys gotta remember the European session makes up of about 41% of all Forex transactions. It's the biggest session in the world, right? So for those of you that want to keep up with sessions, right, you could just go to indicators, add the sessions indicator, and then whatever sessions on chart, right? So it's as simple as that. Right, but anyways, I'm gonna go over this trade here. So I'm gonna kind of get rid of this. Right, what I was looking at on gold here, right? This is the only time I ever traded outside of session, and I got stuck in a bunch of consolidations. This is why I don't trade outside of session, right? So on gold here, price gave me this 3-leg extension here, confirming more or less a move to the downside, right? So I had my point A and point B on fibs from this high to this low. Right, I ended up taking a loss first before the winning trade, right? And this is the importance of risk management because this one loss, right, ended up losing whatever the case might be, 2%. And this one winning trade ended up making me 6%, I want to say, right? So I ended up taking a short here. Stops were above this high. Targets were a negative 27 extension level, right? Now, this was a pretty good setup here. It just didn't play out in my favor. Not every single trade is going to play out in your favor. You do have to remember that. right? So we did have the red over blue moving averages. Price broke under this level of support. And all I was looking for was for this level of support to hold as a level of resistance. And as you could see, it did. It gave me this nice bearish variation pattern, and my entry was right here. My stops were right here. Now, the reason why I took this trade was because once price ended up breaking under this level of consolidation here, right, all I was looking for to see is to see if price can actually reject that level as a level of resistance and actually continue in this more or less downward trend here, because on the 4-hour time frame, it did reject, I believe it was like a 618 as well. So I was looking for price to continue to trade lower. But anyways, we had the rejection towards the upside. We had the 38.20. We had the price action signal, and we had the retest of previous structure. Like I said, again, you're not going to win every single trade. You know, it is what it is. Now, price ended up coming back, testing this 618. Remember when I said if price breaks this 20 moving average, I'm going to look for the 50 moving average to get rejected. So price rejected the 618 along with the 50 moving average. That's two confirmations there alone. And then price gave me this bullish engulfing, or bearish engulfing candlestick here. So that's three confirmations right then and there. So at this point in time, that's when I went short. Stops were above these highs here. So I put my stops above the overall median of the highs. I believe it was like 2 pips here. So I did end up having about a 20 pip stop. Now, when it came to targets, my targets were just the low here because I was already a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, right? You know, when it comes to setting up your targets, you don't want to have a target that's super unrealistic. Like, okay, you know, I'm going to have this 20 pip stop loss. So I'm going to expect gold to drop 900 pips, right? That's just, you're kind of pulling things out of the middle of the air. It just doesn't make any sense, right? So when it comes to targets, I like to set targets that make sense, right? Why were my targets here? Oh, because this was price's previous lows. Okay, well, if I would have targeted a negative 27 extension level, what could I have done there? Okay, well, if price were to hit my TP1, what I'll do is I'll close half of my position, secure some profits, right? A leaking faucet will eventually fill the bucket, and then obviously move my stops to break even and let the trade run, right? So
A leaking faucet will fill my bucket?
yeah, we'll fill the bucket. Have you never heard of that term?
Shit.
I think I read too much books. Anyways, I know, my bad. Daniel Savage don't read, just like Daniel Savage don't finance.
Bitch, I got kicked out of 10th grade, bro. What the fuck?
I got kicked out of 11th. So, anyways, damn, now I lost my train of thought here. Whatever. So entry was here, got stuck in a bunch of consolidation. Now notice this here, when volume came in the market, that was London session, pre-hours. I believe it was like 1 a.m. Price just went directly towards take profit, and I got out at that point in time, right? Now, at this point in time, I ended up going long on my swing trading account somewhere around this area here. I believe it was because of this move, right? Stops were down here. And then I decided to go long on this 30-minute time frame on my regular account. So 38.20 or 618 is supporting. The levels I look for mainly are the 38.20, 50, and 618. Right. Anyways, so now what I was looking at here is obviously this double bottom pattern, which is kind of choppy, if that's what you want to call it. More or less like a choppy double bottom here, right? We do have divergence here on the RSI. And then notice price is making lows, highs, higher low, higher high. So at this point in time, all I did was fibs, point A, point B, and pretty much right once this candlestick had engulfed the previous doji here, I decided to make an entry on a long. Stops were under this level here, so about a 15 pip stop loss. Targets were this negative 27 extension level where we do have this previous structure high. So that was a winning trade. So as you can see, one losing trade, one winning trade, or two winning trades so far right there. I actually did go over that. I posted that on my course as well.
Now, Raul.
And then
now let's do this. What do you look for? Let's say you just woke up. You know, what time do you wake up to look at the charts, first of all?
It depends if I traded London session or not. So let's say if I did trade the London session, I won't trade in the morning because I already hit my goal for the day. But let's say I wake up for the New York session, I'll probably wake up around 7 o'clock, 7:30 at latest.
Okay, so let's say you're waking up at 7 o'clock. Boom, you wake up at 7 o'clock. You get on the charts. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Same thing as I just kind of described in like the last 30 minutes, except I'll wait for 9 o'clock. Typically, if I don't
Show
get
it.
in by like 7, right? If I don't get in by like 7 a.m., then I'll wait for 9 o'clock to make an entry, because what'll happen at the second 8 o'clock hits, sometimes price will go up, take out sellers, and price will go down, take out buyers, and price will continue to trade higher, right? It's just a basic liquidity grab. That doesn't happen all the time, but typically it does happen the majority of the time. So I don't really like to trade around that 8 a.m. range. So I'll more or less wait, right? Now, let's say you missed out on this move here, right? All you could have simply done, point A, point B, right? This was another trade that I ended up taking. This one I did more or less a little quick scalp on, right? Point A, point B. And I believe I actually went over this on my student webinar, whatever. Right? Previous level of resistance, again, building confirmations, blue over red moving averages, higher high, higher low, right? Price pull back to this 38.20 where we have a previous level of structure, and you probably could have taken a position here, stops under here, targets could have been this -27 extension level. Keep in mind, the risk to reward is only a 1.5. Yeah, you did. You called it for about, yeah, just like I remember that. Anyways, targets would have been this -27 extension level, which would give you 1.5 risk reward ratio. But since we are rejecting the 38.20, you can always look for that -618, which would have gave you a little bit more than 2 times your risk on that trade there. Right. So again, it's really all about building confirmations. Divergence confirmation on which time frame? I didn't have a divergence confirmation for that time frame, or for any of these trades here, really. Right. Now, the one thing that I wanted to go over when it came to this setup, right? The reason I didn't close was because the second you enter a trade, and this is more or less like psychology talk, the second you press that buy or sell button, you should already know where you're going to get out if you're wrong and where you're going to get out if you're right before you even enter the trade. Because what happens is you can't think logically anymore because you have live money at risk. Right. So if you can't think logically, the best thing for you to do is just more or less just wait for the actual trade to play out. Right. Look how many times price had pulled back on my order and made me go break even. Right. And I was in on a pretty hefty lot size here as well. Right. So, the one thing you want to look at as well is candlestick analysis. So pretty much if we look at these candlesticks, what these candlesticks are telling me that there is no volume to the upside, especially coming to this 50 moving average here. Price remained under this 50 MA or SMA the entire time. But basically, to sum up my trading strategy, it's more a discretionary trading strategy. So again, price pullback, 38.20, previous level structure, bullish variation, blue over red moving averages, right? So buy. So it's more or less as simple as that. And that's pretty much it. And I already went over this position here. So those were the trades I did take. I had a pretty high win rate last week. But regards to the fact, how I like to look at my trading is not on a day-by-day basis. It's more or less on a week-by-week basis. So anybody have, how many pips do you move your stops to break even? I'll only do that if I'm swing trading. So if I'm up like a 1 to 3, then I'll move my stops to break even. Or 1 to 2, my bad. I'll move my stops to break even. If price breaks the 618, will you stop looking for the current trend? It depends. Typically I will, and then I'll go up to a higher time frame and see what's going on there. Let's say price breaks a 618, like on the hour time frame, then it's probably just going to make a lower high or a higher low on a 4-hour time frame. Right, so each time frame has its level of structure. Right, when H1 is trending bullish, then it's probably just a pullback on the 4-hour time frame. Right, just like here. Right, H1 will have to be trending bearish for price to make this lower high point on the 4-hour time frame. H4 is going to have to be trending bearish for price to make a lower high point on the daily time frame. Each time frame has its level of structure. The better you can identify structure and price, the better it's going to be for you over on the long run. But regardless of the fact, when it comes to actually reading price action, you're going to get better as long as you pretty much focus on price every single day. The more you show up, the better you're going to get. Is gold your favorite pair? Yeah, I only trade gold. Can you scroll back to like February 10th?
Yeah, I'm only trading gold from now on also, just because
like right here.
It's made me a lot of money.
I had a quick question.
Become in sync with it. So
anyways, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be frustrated about reading price. You're probably going to get stopped out more or less in the beginning. But the best thing for you to do is be persistent and dedicated to wanting to grow and get better at reading price. overall, you got to look at yourself, okay, this is where I'm at now. Where can I be in 5 years? You know what I mean? You're just going to get better with time. This is the importance of managing your money properly, having a proper risk management system in place, because if you constantly blow accounts and you're not in the game, right, you can't get better at the game if you're not in it. Do you use trend lines on gold? I don't use trend lines to begin with. I don't think trend lines don't make sense to me. They just don't. They're too subjective.
Yeah, like on gold, like me, like for example, like Daniel Savage traded GBP, USD, GBP, JPY, mostly all my trading career. So for about 3 years, I traded GU and GJ, and trend lines for me was a very, very big thing. I always needed to see if I was being respected or if I was just basically being disrespected. So one thing that I noticed when I would apply my trend line strategy on gold, bro, it would not respect it whatsoever. Like if the market was like, yeah, fuck your trend line. You know what I'm saying? So I don't use trend lines on gold either, just because I feel like they do not get respected and they can confuse you. So for you guys, do not run trend lines and don't depend on trend lines when it comes to gold. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't recommend it just because like I said, they don't get respected in my opinion, and they can confuse you and they can make you, feel very, very, insecure with your analysis. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I wouldn't recommend using trend lines either. But that's just me personally. I know there's people out there that are good with trend lines. It's just I've never had a good experience trading trend lines.
So anyways, Raul, it's Daniel Savage's turn, guys.
Yeah. Anyways.
Alrighty. Screen 1.
For those of you that have questions, just type it in the Q&A and we'll answer them, near the end of the webinar. But don't put some dumbass question like, oh, don't put some dumbass question, what broker do you use?
Okie dokie. Let me move this here. Now, where do I get the questions? Chat. Okay.
The Forex Rob strat, 100%. Strategy wins 100% of the time.
Okie dokie.
Have you tried using indicators? I'll answer your questions at the end, bro.
Alrighty, guys. So I'll move this over here. Give me a second, guys. Fix this up on my end on my other monitor. Can you guys see my? Oh, here it is. Here's a chat. There, perfect.
That was a Head and Shoulders pattern.
All right, so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing on my monitor, right?
Yep.
What am I doing?
Head and Shoulders pattern.
Okay, cool. I was actually drawing a middle finger. What the fuck? These fucking people saying dick. Jesus.
No.
All right, guys. So one thing about me is I'm more of a smaller time frame entry guy, just due to the fact that I'm more of a scalper. I like to be in and out as quick as possible, as well as I like my stops to be very small. And I mostly look for, I'm going to show you right now, but like what I'm looking for mostly is market structure breaks into my favor. You know what I'm saying? So for example, I'm looking for something like, this is the 15-minute. So I'm looking for stuff like this. Spread that out a bit. So I'm always looking for stuff like this, I'm looking for candle, patterns like this. Boom. I'm looking for stuff like this. I'm looking for stuff like that. I'm looking for stuff like this. 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 Basically, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for pushes. I'm looking for pushes to either the upside, taking out previous highs, or I'm looking for pushes to the downside, taking out previous lows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always looking for market structure breaks. Now let's go to the 30-minute. So I'm always looking for market structure breaks to either the downside or the upside. So for example, you see how we have this continuation to the upside, and then we have this big push here coming down. So basically, I'm always looking for those market structure breaks in confluence with the higher time frames. So for example, here in the 30-minute, we have the market going up and up and up and up and up, creating new higher highs and new lower lows, like new high, whatever. So you see the market creating constant new higher highs, this higher high taking out this one. Then we have a push, this higher high taking out this one. And then as you guys can see, they kind of died out, but then we have a new higher high being made here. So what do we have here? We have this push right here creating new lower lows. So this push right here made new lower lows, taking out all of these lows. So since this push right here ended right here and kind of continued over here, we have new lower lows. So that's what I look for. I look for shit like that when we make new lower lows or new higher highs. This being a new higher high, taking out these highs. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Type in the comments, yes or no. Yes, exactly. So I'm looking for market structure breaks. So for example, since this push right here ended up exactly right here, this low right here ended up closing under all of these lows right here. So since I see this push to the downside, I'm not looking to go up. I'm really not. Why? Because we have market structure breaking to the downside. So in this situation, I'm going to run my Fibonacci from where that market structure push happened. You know what I'm saying? So they would be this wick right here. And I'm going to end it right here to where it finished. So from this push all the way to where the push ended, from this wick where the push started to where that push ended at that wick. So me, I always enter. Let's put my Fibonacci settings here so that way you guys can look at it. So me, I always enter in between one zone, right? When I'm intraday trading, you know what I'm saying? So anything over the 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, I don't swing trade, so I don't really trade off the 4 hour like that. Very rare. But guys, take a picture, take a screenshot of my Fibonacci settings. I'm gonna take them off in a second. So I always enter in between one exact zone. And this is my zone right here. This is my zone, the 50 and the 618. I call this the golden zone. I call this the golden zone just because I feel like price in here, if it's respecting my zone, then I feel like my trade is going to go 100% the way that I want it to go. So look at this. We have market structure being broken to the downside. These lows right here, taking out these lows right here. And then we have our Fibonacci being ran from this push all the way to this push, the wick here where the push started to where the push ended. My 50 and my 618 zone, I highlight it. The reason why I highlight my 50 and my 618 zone is because I'm really focused on what's happening in here. I want to see what's happening. I want to see how the price action is reacting to my zone. So since I am on a higher time frame, in my opinion, because I mostly stick to the 15-minute and mostly sometimes the 30-minute and the 5-minute, basically, you know, I'm looking for shit like this on smaller time frames. You know what I'm saying? What is your analysis time frame and enter time frame? I'm telling you right now. So since I have my golden zone here highlighted, I'm looking at what's happening in here right now. So let's clean this up right here. As you guys can see, my 50 and my 618 zone right here is literally being respected. So I'm going to go to my 15-minute. So on my 15-minute, it's basically still the same entry. So what I see is I see my 50 and my 618 holding strong. You know what I'm saying? I see this one rejection here, and then we have this spike up here to retest it. And then we had another candle come right back down into my zone. And then look what we have here. We have some exhaustion with a little wick here. and then we had another candle. So I'm looking at shit like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you know, I have a little psychology with this pair and this setup. So I'm looking at like, okay, I'm gonna wait for something here that's gonna make me want to sell. So what do I see here? I see this huge fat rejection to the 764. So when I see that price rejects my 764, I'm thinking, okay, my fib is valid. The second that I see price breaking above my 764, that's when I panic. Right there, that is telling me, hey, look, you're about to be fucked. There's a possibility you're going to be fucked. So when I see price breaking above and closing above my 764, right there, I'm prepared to lose every single time. I'm very prepared to lose every single time. But when I see my price hit the 764 above my zone and come back down like this, I'm going to enter. And look at that. If I would have entered right here, I could have, boom, immediately been into profit right there. And guess what? If I didn't enter here, I just formed an evening star with a fat rejection to the upside. These divergence, I don't really depend on them. Raul just put them on there. So, you know, I could have entered right here. And then look, I could have eaten real nice. So let me kind of explain to you what these lines are right here. So spread that out a little bit, guys. There you go. So the 23.6 is basically my first take profit one. You know, my 0, where I last ran my fib, is my take profit 2, and my 25.25 is my take profit 3, and the 618 is the take profit 4. So basically, let's say, for example, I would have entered here when price rejected my 15 to 618. So one thing about the time, you know, the Fibonacci is being ran on the higher time frames. For example, this setup was kind of more clean on the 30-minute. Let's see the 1 hour. 1 hour, boom, it looks the same. You know, all my time frames are in confluence. My 15-minute, my 30-minute, and my 1 hour, I'm still breaking market structure on all 3 time frames. Now let me look at the 4 hour really quick. On the 4 hour, look at this. On the 4 hour, it doesn't kind of seem to be like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really look like a market structure being broken just because we have all these green candles. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm a scalper, because I look at the 15-minute, I look at the 5, the 15, the 30-minute, and the 1 hour, mostly almost every single time. Either way, I'm in and out quick, guys. I like my money. I want it fast. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here for days. I'm not going to sit here for hours. If I'm going to trade longer than an hour or two, I'm getting the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm losing, I'm leaving. You know, if I'm in profit, cool, amazing. Other than that, if it's consolidating or it's there, I'm going to get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So here on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, it looks literally the same. We have that same market structure being broken on these 3 time frames. So look at that. Here on the 30-minute. If we're in 30 pips drawdown right now, if we would have entered right here. We're in 30 pips drawdown if we would have entered right here at our 15 or 618. So one thing that I do is I like to really enter in between the center of this zone, and I'll always enter a second position if I touch my 15, my 618. Either way, I'm entering in this zone. So I can enter at the 50, boom, and then the 618, boom. I can have 2 positions running right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you guys can hear me perfect, right?
Yep.
All right, because I saw somebody say lag. So look at this. I'll get there, guys. Don't worry. So look, on this trade right here, I have everything that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I see my EMAs crossing right here. So if you guys weren't paying attention, I use the EMA 8, and then I use the moving average 21. So when I see shit like this, a red one crossing over the blue one, I'm thinking bearish. But if I see a blue one crossing over a red one, I'm thinking bullish. You know what I'm saying? But not all the time will I use them. Not all the time will I use them as a form of confluence, just because they can trick you sometimes. So the way I kind of look at my moving averages is how the mouth is shaped. So let's say, for example, it's crossing like this, you know, and it's kind of going like this. You know what I mean? Let me move that. So let's say they cross, and I see, you know, the red one going over the blue one, and the mouth is opening like this. You know, I could probably see some type of consolidation. You know what I'm saying? But if I see my EMAs crossing red over blue, something like this, kind of giving me a direction like this, I feel like more confident taking that setup because I feel like the momentum is a lot more stronger to where the mouth is going. So for example, in this situation, look at this. The mouth was going like this, you know? So when it came to my entry, even though they did cross up here, that's fine because look at the time. This is Asian session, so it's not really something like wow, you know what I mean? So looking at the EMAs crossing and my arrow going real nice with the mouth, I'm thinking, okay, when I get in my zone, I could really have some momentum to help me out here. And as you guys can see, when it did go to my zone, we had a 30 pip, you know, drawdown maximum from our entry. But if we would have entered at the 618, we were having literally a 15 pip drawdown. So when I enter on higher time frames like the 30-minute and the 1 hour, I'm always risking at least 35 to 45 pips maximum. You know what I'm saying? And I lower my lot size. So I don't really like to enter mostly on them. I like to look at them and I like to, you know, off the bat, I will not always enter. I won't, just because some shit like this could happen where it would close like this and then spike up. You know what I'm saying? So I like to have some confirmations in there. Basically confirmations like this. Let's go 15-minute. I see that this candle rejected here. And then I'm going to wait for another candle. Either way, I'm on the 30-minute time frame. So 2 candles basically on the 15-minute is 1 30-minute candle. So I'm going to wait for at least 2 confirmations on a higher time frame. You know what I'm saying? So let's highlight the zone again. If I would have entered on this second confirmation right here, let's highlight this right here. Price is in between the 50 and the 618, as you guys can see right here. This candle right there. It closed, rejected, almost touched my 764 and rejected my 618, closing under my 618. So I could have shorted right there off the bat. Boom. What would have been my drawdown? My drawdown maximum was 22 pips from there. So let's say I have a 35 pip stop loss maximum. You know, we were close, but we didn't hit it. Either way, we ended up, after this next candle, we formed kind of like an evening star. We didn't engulf, but we had 3 rejections to the upside. So I was kind of confident in this trade. You know, did I take it? Who knows? You know, so look at that. After this, our next candle, look at the momentum on this thing. Started flooding down. Boom. In 1 hour, take profit 3 being 25 was smashed. This was an 86 move, an 86 pip move right here. As you guys can see, our risk to reward ratio was basically on this trade almost 3. So literally 3 times your risk you made. So right there off the bat, 86 pip move, boom, beautiful. So one thing that a lot of you guys will notice is consolidation like this. This is why I like to trade mostly off the smaller time frames, because shit like this can be very, very confusing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm mostly looking at the 15-minute more than anything. So look at this. So if I didn't enter on this 30-minute right here and I missed it, this being my entry, let's say I didn't enter that. The highlighted zone is the entry in the 30-minute. Now let's look at the smaller time frame here real quick. Let's say I didn't enter there. At the end of the day, look at this. We had market structure being broken again to this downside. You know, this push taking out these lows. So since this push created new lower lows, this being low here, ending here before we pulled back up, taking out all of these lows, we went, look at this, the mouth, just like I was saying, the mouth crossing. Very aggressive to the downside. So look at that. The mouth, very aggressive to the downside. Highlight my entry zone. Boom. 15 to 618. Remember, guys, this is the time where a lot of consolidation is. And look at that. Take profit 2 was smashed. So look at this. Let's put it here. Let's say we would have entered here. Look at that. We were in maximum a 20 pip drawdown. So what can we do? We can always kind of put our stop loss a little above the 764. You know, here, 30. Let's just put 35 pips. You know, just a little base. And look at that. 30 pips. Take profit 2 was smashed for 50 pips. So if you didn't get in on this entry up here, which led to this massive fucking move at the end of the day, about almost 100 pips, you could have went back in on the retracement right here and then eaten these 60 plus pips from here. But we got 50 plus pips here from the 15 to 618. Remember, we can always get in also to run our second position. Don't just spam your entries. Don't just spam your entries at the 50. You know, you always want to throw at least one. And then on the second position, you do it at the 618. You know what I'm saying? So 2 positions running, take profit 2, smashed. Look at that. Your second position was almost 70 pips at 67 pips. Your first position would have been 53 pips. So you have 14 pips extra on your second position. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real good thing that I like to do. I like to enter on the smaller time frames. So let's look at the 1 hour. On the 1 hour on gold, I don't really enter mostly on the 1 hour just because this doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good to me. You know, it looks ugly to me. But when I see shit like this, like I said earlier, we want to look for stuff like this. Market structure breaks. You know, we want to look for shit like that. You know, we want to look for stuff like that. This right here, it looks ugly on the 1 hour. I don't even know what to do on the 1 hour on here. You know what I'm saying? So let's highlight this zone right here. This, you don't even know what the fuck is going on here in the 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? So let's look on the smaller time frames. 15 minute. Okay, on the 15 minute, I kind of see, you know, a little bit more than what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? I'm kind of understanding a little bit better now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look a little far back and I'm going to draw my support and my resistance. So let's say right here, we have a resistance right here, this zone right here, boom. So we got our resistance right here, which was the previous resistance. And one thing about your resistance and your support, they do end up being each other. As in, for example, this resistance right here was broken. As you guys can see, boom, came back down and retested. So the second that you see price breaking above your resistance being roof, you know, the top, since it was broken and retested and rejected, now this resistance becomes your support. So now this resistance is now support. So since I see market structure breaking above my resistance, I'm going to run my Fibonacci from here to where the last push was, which was right here. And look at that, my 50 and my 618 zone, the golden zone where I enter my trades. Let's put that green. So look at that. We got the 50 and the 618 right here. And look at that, boom. So what do we have in confluence with our 50 and our 618 where we're entering on our market structure being broken to the upside, or Fibonacci telling us, hey, look, we want to buy. What do we see? We have our support being rejected in our zone twice, 3 times, 4 times. So all in all, we had 4 opportunities to enter this trade. So look at that. If I would have went long here, take profit 2 was smashed. We weren't even, oh my God, we weren't even in a 15 pip drawdown. Look at that. We weren't even in a 15 pip drawdown. But let's say we had a 30 pip stop loss. You know what I'm saying? You know, a little 30 pip stop loss. Look at that. We don't even see barely any drawdown. We do see a little bit of consolidation. We do see that because price rejected and was trying to retest this form of support, as you guys can see multiple times, until price started kind of finding its way back to the upside. So at the end of the day, this was a 48 pip move. So now look at this. We got 48 pips on this move right here. Now, what do we see? We have price coming right back down. But look at this. Even though we have market structure breaking to the downside, this candle closing under these previous lows, I still have my support right here. So I still have my support right here. So at the end of the day, unless I'm breaking my support to follow my market structure being broken to the upside, downside, I'm not gonna run my Fibonacci from here to here. You know, I'm not gonna run my Fibonacci and enter. Look at this. So this was price right here. Even though we did touch our take profit 1, we're not always gonna see, you know, hey, hitting a take profit 1 and then boom, no. Because this thing could have went to our 38 and then rejected and we would have got stopped out. You know what I'm saying? So even though we did respect the 618, the 50 and the 764, price did go up and could have stopped us. So look at this. From our entry, we were 15 pips in profit before we went. Look at that, almost 40 pips to the upside. So that trade right there, I would have not entered on that sell just because we have our support right here and we didn't retest our support. So let's say we would have broke our support and retested it, I would have ran my Fibonacci and then I would have entered. What time frame you draw your fibs? Like I said, guys, I run my Fibonacci's on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 30-minute. And the 1 hour, they have to be in confluence all together, meaning they all have to look the same, basically. All market structures have to be broken on all time frames for me to enter. So we still got our support here. At the end of the day, this is our resistance right here. Just because it was the last, you know, push to the upside with our wick. So this is our support. This is our newfound resistance. So, you know, we had this here, you know, boom, we could have been stopped out. Okay, whatever. Let me delete this. Oh, oops. So, you know, I'm looking, I'm waiting. You know, I see something like this. Market structure breaking our resistance. So market structure breaking our resistance right here and retesting it right here. So since we did break our resistance and retested it, officially now it is our support. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me look at the chat. All these arrows. That's a lot of fucking questions. Hold up. Yo, Raul, help me out here.
If you got a question, it's easier for us to see it in the actual question little, I guess you could say, tag there. So it's easier for us to see it there.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, guys, I only enter in the 15 to 618. Let me finish this little example and then I'll kind of go over your questions. So look at this. We have market structure being broken to the upside. This candle right here, retesting our newfound support. So right now, this is our new support because it was our resistance and it was officially broken and retested. So let's say I would have ran my Fibonacci from this wick right here after this fat rejection. It looks kind of ugly, but whatever. Look at that. In our golden zone, right here, the 50 and the 618. Boom. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times 15, that's the amount of consolidation we were in. Either way, this is the Asian session. No, I'm sorry. This is kind of like dying out New York session. So basically, price did kind of take a little bit forever. But as you guys can see, take profit 1, 2, and almost 3 was smashed. So let's delete this here. Delete this here. Let's see. From our first entry, we were 20 pips maximum in drawdown from our first position. But our take profit 2 was 65 pips from our first entry, and our second entry that we would have taken at the 618. Take profit 2 was 82 pips and did go up to, look at that, 100 plus pips. So that right there, boom, beautiful. I'm always looking for the market structure breaks. I'm looking at my support and my resistance. And yeah, guys, you know, after my take profit 1 is smashed, always my stops are to break even. So when I hit this 23 immediately, my stop loss is at break even, right back in my entry, you know, just in case, because I'm not going to lose. I don't want to lose because look at this. Price did hit my take profit 1, but closed under it. So what could it have done? It could have just wicked down and went all the way down and stopped me out, and I would have been losing. So my stops are at break even because I don't want to fucking lose. So all my stops are break even after the 23, which is take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. So boom, nice little setup right there. You know, we still have our support right here, guys. Now we have a new resistance. So boom, this being our new resistance until it is broken and retested. So look at this. This is where that risk management comes in place. Now let me look at some questions here just because they're fucking flying. Holy shit. Okay. Let's see. Let me go over a little bit of questions right here. Holy Jesus. If market structure isn't broken and then continuation, trend plus support like current gold price. I don't know. I don't see a question in that. Could you simulate a live trade of the current price? What do you mean?
He basically wants to look to see if there's a current opportunity.
No, this is ugly. This is consolidation right here.
But it'd be different if it was like
terrible.
1 in the morning.
Yeah,
but
like I said,
no
guys,
real setup right now.
Like I said, guys, I'm not looking for shit like this. I'm looking for shit like this. You know, I'm looking for stuff like this. I'm looking for big pushes like that. You know, I'm looking for pushes like that.
But one thing I will say is that we could see gold
shit like that.
go bearish.
I don't want to look at that, you know, because if I'm gonna do something off this, I'm forcing a trade, and my brain is wired to think if I enter on anything like this, I'm gonna fucking lose 100%. Look at this. This is fucking disgusting. This is ugly. You don't want to ever enter shit like that. So look at that. Let's say you would have played the patient game, guys. You know, let me do another little setup right here. Let's say we would have played the patient game right here. At the end of the day, this little ripple effect right here, market structure being broken to the upside. Boom. Look at that. We have our 15 or 618 entry right here. Little ripple effect. That's cool. Look at that. Boom. Take profit 3 smash. 51 pips. Came right back down to entry to retest the 50 and the 618. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we have this little form of support right here that was broken and retested. So this is still my support. You know what I'm saying? So what am I going to keep doing? I'm going to wait for this to either get broken and retested or respected and create new higher highs for continuation. So what do we have right here? We have more continuation, and boom, my golden zone right here. Beautiful. Holding strong. Got my support right here. Got my entries, little ripple effect. Boom. 27 pips to my support, or could put a little bit of 35 pips maximum. And look at that. Take profit 4, smash 67 pips. Now look at this. This is still kind of ugly. Even though we do have market structure being broken here, remember guys, I'm still looking at my support. So I don't care if my market structure broke down. If we're not breaking under my support, I'm not taking the trade. You know, I'm looking at my support and my resistance more than anything. So let's say we spread this out a little bit. Boom. You know, we still have, you know, a little bullish environment. So I could have entered off this trade right here. Even though this push didn't break market structure here to the upside, and we had our EMAs crossing here, at the end of the day, we still have that support that was around here. So if it's not being broken, it's still bullish. So look at that. What do we have here? 5618 entry right here, respected. And what do we have? huge spike. Our EMAs ended up crossing right here again, blue over red. And look at that. 35 pip take profit. But let's say you would have missed that. Look at this. We have this push from here to here right there. So this is just the 15-minute. Remember, guys, I'm looking at the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 30-minute. So let's say here on the 5-minute, how does it look? The 5-minute, from here, market structure here, look at that. My EMAs crossed. OD. Look at the mouth on my EMAs. Look at the mouth on my EMAs right there. Boom. Even though my 50, my 618 was not triggered right here, price was still literally right there. So in this situation, I didn't take this long. I didn't. Why? Because even by 1 pip, you can take a fat fucking loss. You know, you can take a fat fucking loss. So I did notice this right here. I could have risked it, could have taken that trade, you know, but I didn't. So I did notice this, you know, boom, market structure continuing here. And look at that. My 50, my 618, my 764 holding strong. We got this little resistance being broken, respected, kind of like a support right now. And look at that continuation. Boom, 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 boom. And look at that. Take profit 4 being smashed at the end of the session for 50 pips. So that's just right there, 5-minute. I mostly scalp on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. So now, like, look at this. I'm pretty aggressive. I'm an aggressive trader. So I'm looking at all my market structures on the same time frame, just like I said to you guys. 15-minute, 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour max, going with the same trend. So look at this. Look at this. We have a lot more entries on the 5-minute than anything. And one cool thing about the 5-minute entries, you can have about a 15 to a 20 pip stop maximum. So let's go over some setups right here. Boom. Same setups here from this session. Market structure breaking to the upside, 618, boom. This was the entry from that huge consolidation. Now look at this. Disgusting. 764 holding strong on the 5-minute, you know? So when I see this, look, before it took off, this right here, that's a long time of consolidation. How many hours exactly is this? That's a long fucking time. Holy shit. Look at that. That's 22 hours. That's a whole fucking day. But look at this. From what the fuck just happened, Raul? Okay. But look at this. Like I said, guys, take profit 1. After take profit 1, all my stops are break even. At the end of the day, boom, 5 minutes, boom, take profit 1 was smashed, 19 pips. We went maximum 25 pips until we kind of consolidated for a little bit and then ended up hitting take profit 2 for 30 pips later on in the day. So at this point, take profit 1, take profit 2 is smashed. So there's no reason to hold them whatsoever. And I'm not looking to hold at all. So let's kind of go back a little bit further into the days. But look at this. We have that market structure being broken to the downside right here. Let's kind of spread this out a little bit. So since we have market structure kind of breaking to the downside.
I'm right here.
What?
Some guys asking where I'm at.
Look at this. This setup is way too big. It's a 100 pip move. I'm not going to run that off a 5-minute. Not at all. I'm really not. You know what I mean? Like I said, 15, 5-minute, 30-minute, looking at them all at the same time. Boom, 50, 618. All of them are in confluence, you know, 1 hour. All of them are in confluence. So that's what I'm looking for. All my time frames in confluence. When I see shit like this sometimes, I do like to look at it more on the 5-minute than anything, just to see if I can kind of get an entry somewhere. So look at this. Perfect. Market structure being broken to the upside. I'm going to do this a little quick, and then I'm going to answer questions. Look at that. Market structure being broken to the upside. 50, 618. Mouth crossing. Boom. Right there. Take profit. 1, eventually smashed. We did consolidate like hell. But then again, at the end of the day, I'm looking at all time frames. So let's look at the 30-minute real quick. As long as my 30-minute is looking okay, boom, I'm happy. As you guys can see, 30-minute looking good. Morningstar kind of, boom, we're going up. 23 pips, we came right back down. Drawdown, look at that. Oops, hold up. Same setup. So drawdown from here, maximum 33 pips, stop losses, a little bit bigger on the higher time frames. Entry, boom, take profit 1, smashed. From our first entry, from our second entry, we were in, the fuck is this? Oh shit, okay.
Harmonic.
Oh fuck, this is some IML shit, bro. How do I get this off? Oh, okay, good, I feel better now. All right, so from my second entry, 618, we were in a 16 pip drawdown, 13 pip drawdown. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, guys, you don't want to spam them all at the 50 just because you got that 618 right there. Take profit 1 was eventually smashed for 50 pips. First entry, second entry, 68 pips. Boom. After that, stops to break even. Now look at this. Right now, my stops are break even. Look at that. Boom. After take profit 1 is smashed, you never want to enter again when it comes back to your entry. So look at this. We have our entry right here. Let's spread this out a little bit. It came right back down to our entry right here. It didn't even hit take profit 1. It came right back down. And look at that. We would have been stopped if we would have gone in again. So look at that. Now I'm seeing price disrespect me. I'm not creating new higher highs. What I just did was I created a new lower low. This low taking out these lows right here. So what am I seeing now? I'm looking for opportunities to the downside. So like I said, guys, let's kind of get our support and our resistance out here. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, guys. I'll go over questions right now. So, you know, I got my support and my resistance all out at once. So I see market structure being broken to the downside. You know, I'm going to have my support and my resistance. Look, this is my support right here. At the end of the day, it's being broken, retested, fat rejections to the upside. So what am I going to do? Market structure being broken to the downside. I'm going to run my Fibonacci and look at that. What do we have here? 50, 618 zone. We enter 764 holding strong. Boom. Take profit 4 smashed for 75 pips. 754 Broward County, baby. 74 pips. So let's say that setup right there was ugly. You know what I'm saying? Let's say it's an ugly setup. What do we have here? We have this level of support being broken again and retested. New lower lows. We're going to continue this fucking draw, this to the downside. Sorry. So we're going to continue this to the downside. What do we have here? 50, 618, boom, holding strong. Enter again, take profit 4, smash for 90 pips. So we got a 90 pip move within a 70 pip move. That's 160 pips within exactly 6 hours. So that right there, beautiful setup. That's fucking perfect setup. So like I said, guys, when we break support and resistance, we always create new support and resistance. So this being our old support, now being our new resistance, and this being our new support, this is now broken and retested this is now our new resistance. So now let's make this box red. Now this is why I look at all time frames. Now I'm going to go to the 5 minute real quick. I'm going to go to the 5 minute real quick. I'm going to go to the 5 minute real quick, and I'm going to run my Fibonacci from this push to this push right here. Okay, cool. Even though my 50 and my 618 entry has not been triggered for me to sell, but we still kept going down to hitting take profit 3, I'm going to look mostly at my 38. I'm going to look at my 382, I'm sorry, and I'm going to see how price is being respected, how it's being treated. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is our support right here that is broken and retested on the 5 minute. This is where it gets kind of confusing. Remember, we're going to enter up here. So when we see shit like this, we're going to wait to see more clear structure, So I see price is rejecting my 38. I don't think we're going to make it to the 618. Now, this is where we can get kind of aggressive. We spread out our chart a little bit more. And look, what do we have here? We have our EMAs crossing. We have multiple rejections and retests to our newfound resistance. We could run our Fibonacci from here to here. Now, what do we have? We have a 50 and a 618. And look at that. Take profit 4 smashed for 42 pips. Take profit 4 wicking and then wicking right back the fuck up, as you guys can see. So this is why I look at the 5, the 15 minute, and the 30, and the 1 hour mostly. As you guys can see, some of you guys are pretty fucking mind blown by that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pretty fucking mind blown. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm looking for shit like that. So now it's time to answer questions. Oh shit, hold up. I want to take a picture of that. You guys are going ham. My boys. All right, guys. So now I want to ask you guys a question. Where do you guys feel as a trader? Where do you guys feel as a trader that you guys like, damn, like this, I'm missing this, I'm not doing well because of this. Like, I want to know your weak points. Like, what is your weak points? Like, what do you guys think? We got zones, psychology, entry levels, confidence, 100%, patience. Yeah, man, patience, man. One thing, let me tell you guys, man,
management.
Patience is power. 100%. Patience is power. It's everything. Patience is money. If you're not patient, you will lose money. You know what I'm saying? Over trading, 100%. That's the thing. Me, I overtrade sometimes, but I'm overtrading with all my confluences following the trend. You know what I'm saying? Entries, for you guys that are confused on entries. Me, like I said, guys, as you guys can see, I only enter, hold up, oops, where'd my camera go? Let me stop this video. Give me a second, screen share.
You are screen sharing. Anyways.
I don't see myself.
I do.
All right, how do I get off this screen share? Oh, stop share. Boom.
Overtrading. I see a lot of overtrade. For those of you that are talking about overtrading, it all depends on what trading style you are or you trade. If you're a swing trader, then you're not going to be taking more than probably one trade every 2 or 3 days. But for you to stop overtrading, it all depends if you're a scalper or a day trader, right? So let's say if you're a scalper, the best thing for you to do is set, okay, well, I'm only going to take a maximum of 3 or 4 trades a day, right? Maybe let's put it at 4 or 5, right? I'm going to take a maximum of 5 trades a day. If I take a maximum of 5 trades a day, I'm going to stop trading, right? Or if you win 3 trades and just, you don't really have to even look for another 2 trades, because then at that point in time, you'd be over trading at that point. It doesn't really make sense. But you want to set rules for yourself pretty much at the end of the day, right? So if you're a day trader, right, and you trade 2 or 3 pairs, yeah, well, I'm not really screen sharing anything. I'll screen share this. because someone asked me, what do you see gold doing now? But anyways, the best thing for you to do is set a limit on the number of trades that you're going to be taking per day. So me personally, as a day trader, all I do is I take 2 positions a day. After 2 trades, I cut it, right? Because typically, my trades will last the entire day. If you're a scalper, I would probably follow the 3 strike rule. For those of you who know what that is, pretty much if you take, let's just say, 2 winning trades, you're done for the day. Or 3 winning trades, you're done for the day. 2 winning, 1 losing, you're done for the day. And the maximum number of trades you're taking is 3, right? And the reason why I talk about risk management on a percentage base for longevity is because I teach all of my students how to get funded, anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000. So it doesn't make any sense for you to use, improper risk management on it. If you can make 10% per month, which last week alone, I was able to make a little bit over 11%.
So there's people fighting.
On a $100,000 account, you're talking about 10 G's. So that's why I focus on proper risk management, because every single trading strategy is going to go through a drawdown, and the bigger percentage based risk that you're taking, the bigger the drawdown is. So let's just say you lose 3 trades in a row. It's going to be a lot harder for you to take your next trade with accuracy because you had already lost 3 trades in a row. And that could be the fourth trade could be a winning trade, and you not end up taking it because you're scared of losing more money. So this is why I follow a proper risk management system, because it keeps my emotions down. But at the end of the day, my lot sizes are big and I'm making a lot of money. The only thing that's changed is how much money I have in my actual account. Yeah, exactly. Viewing everything in a percentage has basically changed the game for a lot of people. You're not blowing accounts anymore. You have the ability to get funded, and obviously you see yourself trading. If you're not consistently profitable yet, I wouldn't recommend risking anything more than 2%. What's the lowest amount you should start to trade with? I would say $1,000. That's the lowest I would ever go.
All right, Raul, let's go. Let me show a little example on risk management, why it takes a big part. Stop sharing your screen really quick. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick, guys. All right, let's say, for example, this is why risk management takes a really big toll on you. So, for example, we have this trade right here. Let's say we would have taken this trade right here. Boom. We're breaking structure to the downside. We enter here. We're at take profit 1, 17 pips. If we don't close and we continue to ride, like I said, guys, I only at take profit 1, my stops are to break even. Why? Because if I get greedy and we come back to entry, we could get stopped out like this, So let's say, for example, on this setup right here, I had a short position right here, stop loss a little bit above the 764. It's really ugly setup. In this opinion, really wasn't worth it. But let's say we had a 20 pip stop loss right here. We have 20 pip stop loss. We just lost 20 pips. So let's say we're over leveraging. If we would over leverage and let's say versus 20, 30%, which I see a lot, that's 20, 30% of your account. What is that going to do? Right there off the bat, that's going to fuck you up. You're going to be like, holy shit, my next trade has to be a winning trade.
And you're going to use a bigger position size and end up blowing the account.
Exactly.
Why? Because you feel like you have to make that back the next trade, right? This is all like more or less stuff you're going to learn in the beginning. Most people have to end up experiencing it. But let's just say you would have just risked 1%. You would have been like, just 1%. Who gives a fuck? It's 1%. I'll make it back, tomorrow whenever I start winning again, right? And you didn't lose, a huge chunk of your account. So what will happen is you'll start really taking more trades, and you'll start looking at your trades in a bigger bulk, right? Instead of looking at trades, out of 5 trades at 100% accuracy. Okay, great. Let's see a portfolio after, a bulk of 25 trades, 100 trades. If you're not consistently profitable, I'm challenging you right now, right? If you can keep your same account for 90 days, right, then I'm going to give you a big applause. I'm going to give you a big applause right then and there, because 90% of traders lose 90% of their trading account within 90 days, right? So your number one goal is, let me keep my same account for at least 90 days, right? I'm giving you all that challenge right now.
So
right?
now
And I
look at
want to
this.
see you do that.
So look at this. We just lost 20 pips on that move. Okay. We're using proper risk management, and then we enter on a more clear-minded setup, because if we're only, we only lose like 2 or 3%, whatever. Boom, 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 boom. Let's say we have $100 account. We just risked 2% on this trade. Okay. We just lost what? $4 on
I'm
that
not using
account.
Hugo's way.
We just lost like what, $4 on that trade. Okay. And we just entered on a new trade, clear-minded. At the end of the day, it's 2%. So your brain is thinking, okay, whatever, it's 2%.
Small loss.
Yeah, it's a small loss. It's nothing. But let's say you enter more on this trade right here. You didn't over leverage. So your brain is completely wired to think, okay, cool. And look at that. You win on this trade right here. You get 65 pips. You just made, at the end of the day, you're 40 pips in profit. You know what I'm saying? You're 40 pips in profit. So you're good to go. That's why risk management plays a very, very big role.
Let me give an example real quick. So just like I was talking about previously when I took a loss here, right? When I took this loss, right? If I would have used a terrible money management system, right? I was risking 20 pips, whatever the account might be, right? Let's just say I risked, 25, 30% of my account on this one trade. On $1,000, that's $300 on this one trade, right? Immediately stop loss was hit, right? Do you know how hard it would have been for anybody, especially a more or less inexperienced trader, to hold through these pullbacks? Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is, oh yeah, now I'm up this much, and then that profit goes away pretty much immediately. It's going to be a lot harder for you to control your emotions, because you're like, oh shit, I was just up this much. Should I close that break even? I don't want to lose more money. But remember, before you enter the trade, your stop is up here. So you have to get out if price comes here, not if price is breaking you even. And then price again went in my favor, and then again came to break even, right? So you know how hard it would have been for me to just more or less deal with those emotions and try and hold that position for longer, because I see price pretty much, I was in profit this much, now I'm in break even. Now I'm actually losing money at one point in time. It would have been so much harder for you to hold that trade. I know this has happened to people before, where you're like, oh, it's in my direction, am I break even? You know what? I'm just going to close. And then you look back at the charts 4 hours later and price actually hit your TP, right? That's probably happened to so many people so many times, because they're not using the proper risk management system. Where in my case, I took a small 2% loss here, right? Got back in up here again, still risking 2%. Stops are up here. And notice, right? I gained 3 times my risk. So I ended up gaining, let's just say 8% on this specific trade, making back that 2% loss plus way more. So it's more or less as simple as that. All you have to focus on is how much you're risking per trade, right? And how much you're looking to gain on that trade. Right, I held a trade for negative 5.8K, and it came out on top 6 days trading later. Patience is key 100%. Patience is key, right? And again, this is a combination of patience and sticking to your analysis. But at the end of the day, if you're over leveraging, it's going to be a lot harder for you to actually be profitable, because your emotions are being increased by 1,000 times. Well, do you take partial profits? I used to in the past with my swing trading account. Yes, I do. Once I'm at a 1 to 2, I'll close half the position and then let the rest run. While my day trading accounts, I don't. I have different portfolios for different types of trading. Is continuations more powerful than breakouts? I mean, they're two different styles of trading. Typically, what happens when price breaks out like this is more orders come into the market at a certain speed while orders are being taken out. So a bunch of sellers, right? Think about it like this. People have their stop losses here for going short, right? And people down here have their stop losses for going long, right? So once overall buyers came through, right? This is gold. Typically, you don't want to trade against gold, right? Once you have buy limits in this area too as well. I forgot to mention, or buy stops, right? So pretty much once those buy stops are activated and gold continues to go higher at the same exact time, these stop losses for the sellers are being taken out. So that's what more or less causes the breakout itself. But it's as simple as that. As long as you can manage your risk, then you'll be a lot better off. I see a lot of people asking about getting funded. I'm not really going to go over the whole explanation right now. you could just look it up. I talked about it briefly on my Instagram stories. You can just go to my Trading Talk highlight, or if you're enrolled in my course, and just go watch this section on how to actually get funded. We could do the Q&A now. I saw one question on do you use RSI and ADD for extra confluence? That's the question for Daniel.
What?
He says, do you use RSI? The only reason he had RSI up on his computer was because I put it there. I was just testing something
No,
out.
I don't depend on RSI or ADX, guys. Not at all. That shit right there is confusing as fuck because your RSI and ADX could be telling you bullish, but then again, you have your support broken and retested, making a resistance, market structure to the downside, EMA's crossed, but you have your fucking RSI bullish. So I mean, at the end of the day, that shit's just really confusing to me. I
I'm
know
gonna
some
go
people
over.
use that as confluence, but to be honest, no, I don't
I'm
use
gonna
it.
go over my RSI settings. Why I use it.
Mhm.
Though I don't use RSI for
Some
to
people
look
don't
at.
even know what an RSI is, so you got to kind of like tell them why you use it and how you use it. You know
The
what I mean?
RSI
What it
is
means to
basically
you.
an indicator that shows one, divergence, and two, when price is quote unquote overbought or oversold. I don't really use the basic levels. The basic levels are 70, 30. I use more extreme conditions, being the 80 and the 20. For those of you that want to copy my settings, let me see if I can pop that out here real quick. Settings. So length is 7, style 80, 20, upper band 80, lower band 20. Basically, like I said again, another strategy that I do have on gold is double tops and double bottoms, which everyone knows that basic retail trader pattern. But I increase the probability of that double top, of that double bottom with RSI divergence. Now, this came to another topic, that someone else had brought to my attention. Where do you see gold next? Well, let's just look at a couple things, right? So we know gold right now currently is at a higher high, and we're at the beginning of the week, right? So the price has to make the week's low before making the week's high. Vice versa, it depends on the trend, right? Point A, let's go from this point A, this point B on fibs. We're at a negative 27 extension level,
Take
right?
profit one.
We have this more or less evening star pattern that formed here, right? Notice buyers failed to break above this resistance, right? So buyers are currently met with selling pressure at this level. On the hour time frame, we have this double top here with RSI divergence, right? So if we take a look at this first high here, right? And we mark that off on RSI, right? Let's go horizontal line here. Oh, let's go vertical right here, right? Let's do it here, right? And then we look at the second high, right? Notice how they're more or less equal to where price closed. But on our side, the second high is obviously a lot lower. That's signs of divergence, meaning price is probably going to go in the opposite direction. So we know we're at a higher high point. We know that price is, there is a double top pattern here, right? So I do see gold temporarily going bearish just for a basic pullback. Price may retest this level before going down, but I definitely am not interested in buying gold right now because you want to think about the higher gold goes. And if you're looking to buy, right, you want to see a pullback, right? You can think about a pullback as a discount, right? You'd be more interested in buying something at a discount than its current price because the current price may be expensive. So you want to think about it as buying it as a discount. Where do I see gold pulling back to? Well, like I said again, we have this level of structure here along with the daily resistance that we just broke. So I definitely want to see if gold could come back down or retest this level before continuing to go up. And then at that point in time, I would look for it to go long because I don't really see a good setup for it to go long as of right now. And along with this range here, we do have the 38.20 in this zone up here. So that's more or less what I'm looking at for gold. Now, me personally, if you want to take a counter trend trade, that's on you. I personally wouldn't fight the bullish trend on gold or bearish trend on gold, right? Just go with the flow. It's a lot easier. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard the trend is your friend. They say that for a fucking reason. Because counter trend trading strategies typically get stopped out more than they win. But if you can find a good strategy that counter trends with a good decent risk reward ratio, then yeah, simple. But anyways, if you're not profitable again, I obviously, like I said previously, I challenge you to keep that same account for 90 days. And if you can hit that goal, then you've already accomplished something that 90% of traders haven't, is keeping one account for at least 90 days. How do you determine the trend when different timeframes are telling you different things? You got to remember, each time frame has its own trend, right? Each time frame has its own structure. We know right now on the 4-hour time frame, we're at a higher high. Why? Because price here, this is our previous high. Price is obviously a lot higher than it was here. That's a higher high. Where are we on the hour time frame? Oh, well, we're at a higher high here as well. You want to look at the overall flow of things, right? There's going to be structure with inside of structure. So on the 4-hour time frame, you're going to see mainly bullish candlesticks, but on the hour time frame, you're going to see a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, let's go over some questions because I see there's like 80 people that were asking questions. Stop sharing my screen. 113 for the Q&A. Price action dash entry point for gold, and also using what confirmation indicator. We already went over that.
Nikita, yes, I do. Either way, guys, at the end of the day, what we just showed you, we have in our courses, separate sections. We have them, like, for example, in my bundle, I have the gold section, especially how I trade gold. I teach it.
Yeah.
And then Raul, he has a session as well where it says
on how I trade gold.
On how I trade gold. Exactly. So this right here, you guys, are getting kind of like, hey, this is what we do.
A preview.
You know what basically. I mean? This is what we do. This is how we do it. And this and that. So for those enrolled in our course, they already know what's up. You know what I mean? For those who are not enrolled in our courses, everything that you just saw, it's all there for you guys to watch a million times. At the end of the day, you guys have this webinar forever. So you guys can watch this a million times, as much as you guys want as well.
Yeah.
But for every billion question that you guys could possibly ask us, at the end of the day, they are in our courses just in case that you guys, don't have them. We go over everything, strictly everything. I have the bundle where it teaches you how I intraday gold. And then I have the aftermath, which you can only buy the aftermath if you have the bundle because it's cheap. It's $149. So that is basically my mastered scalp version. I put it in there. You know what I'm saying? So everything that we do, we teach that. We have separate sections because there's a lot of people out there that they will fucking trade. Like, let's say they'll trade this and they'll trade that. But you go in their course and they're like, hey, look, you trade US 30, but you don't really have a section in your course where you explain US 30. Oh, hey, look, you make this much money with gold, but you don't have a section where you trade gold. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, you can't trade gold how you trade US 30. Nope. You can't trade US 30 how you trade GBP. They're all different. They're all different.
You can think about each pair as a person. Each person has their own personalities. But regards to the fact, just like you said, we go over everything on our course. And one thing that we do that other people don't is we actually live trade and upload that to our actual program as well. So you see us taking the trade live. You see us either getting stopped out or take profit being hit, whatever the case might be.
So one thing that I want to ask, for this last 2 weeks, you guys have seen me post all my trades, my live trades every single day. You guys seen that, showing it live. You guys see the profits, barely any losses, none of that shit. Like, it's barely where I lose. My wins make up for my losses. These last few days, I didn't trade at my best. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't clear-minded. I really wasn't. But I did catch some moves. I did close a lot of trades at break even just because, like I said, guys, after a few hours, I'm out. Take profit one, I'm closing it. I'm putting my stops to break even. So at the end of the day, you guys see more blue than red. So, I mean, I'm that type of person that, hey, I'd rather lose, if, hey, I want to be a retard, but I don't want to be a fucking retard. So I'm going to win. So I'm going to do everything in my possibility, in my power, not to fucking lose. So take profits, always, boom. At 23, being the first take profit one, stops to break even if it's 10 pips. I don't want to fucking lose. Or I'm just going to cut it, So I prevent so much loss just because of that. My fib settings, let me share that again. My fib settings helps me prevent as much loss as possible. So once that 23 is hit, stops are at break even, always. And then take profit 2. When it's hit, my stop losses are moved to 23 if I'm not going to take profit, etc. Take profit 3 smashed, my stop losses are now at take profit 2. Once take profit 4 is smashed, guys, once take profit 4 smashed, boom, that's it. You wait for a new move, you wait for a new retracement or continuation. That move is now complete.
Questions. It's 120 questions here.
That's a lot of questions.
Do you use top-down analysis on gold? You should always follow a top-down analysis approach, even if you're not trading gold, even if you're just trading GBP. That's the best thing you should always be practicing.
How much percentage do you take profit at? I don't really do that.
Yeah.
What I do is I take profit at first take profit 23 or stops to break even at 23. Daniel is so attractive. Oh my God, stop. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. What time do you trade, Daniel? To be honest, best setups in the morning between 7 and 10, my opinion. 6 if you want to be, early. 6 and 10. London session, yeah, you kind of want to know where everything is going. But more than anything, I'm looking mostly, between 6 and 10 in the morning for that setup. That's if I want to trade in the morning. I'm also scalping aggressively. So, in the Asian session, if I see where market structure is at, and if I see my setup on the 5-minute, I'm going to take it. Either way, at the end of the day, my risk is very small. So I could take a loss. That's cool because 1 win will make up for 3 losses. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, my risk management is kind of on point with my scalp sometimes not really. I do like to trade very aggressive sometimes, especially when I like to build things. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's not impossible. You guys, believe it or not, you guys think it's kind of impossible for you.
It's not rocket science.
It's
anybody could be where we're at. You just have to put in the work and obviously follow the right advice.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, for you guys to not be on our level, that's all in your brain, because, a while back, I was like, damn, I wish I was on Raul's level. I want to be on Raul's level. Damn, look at me now. We're at the same level. You know what I'm saying? We're there. I'm there. That I thought it was impossible too. You know what I mean? But hey, look at me now. Me and Raul, we're at the same level. And guess what? We're just only leveling up. You know what I'm saying? So when you guys think it's kind of impossible, at the end of the day, if you keep thinking it, that's how it's always going to be. You know what I'm saying? The second that you guys start focusing on yourself and actually kind of really gathering all that confidence with back testing, hey, look, my Fibonacci has made me a lot of entries here. Perfect. This and that. I've won a lot of trades on my Fibonacci, with this and that, back testing. Hey, look, when it's time to go live, you've already seen that. You've already seen that setup, back test a lot. Do it again. Your brain kind of gets this thing where it's okay, I've seen this setup a million times. So when you do it in real life, it's hey, the universe is not against me. It's not. So why do I feel like I'm going to lose? That's all in your brain. You know what I'm saying? That's all in your brain from there, So at the end of the day, you guys are actually really good traders. You guys just don't believe it yet. You know what I mean? With the capital issue, it's not really a problem. You guys can get easily funded. What you guys really need to worry and focus on is risk management, because I'm going to be real with you guys. If you guys can't manage a $100 account, you'll never be able to manage $1,000 account. And if you can't manage a fucking $1,000 account, you'll never be able to manage a $10,000 account. And how are you supposed to be a 6-figure trader if you can't even manage 5 figures? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, guys, it's all up to you, man. My brain is wired to think, hey, I'm gonna lose every single fucking time I'm breaking a rule. So when I break my rule, I know I'm gonna lose. So I try to stick to my rules. You know, a lot of you guys lose because you guys want it so fast and so bad. You're like, fuck, I want to get rich already. Damn, Daniel has a McLaren. Raul has a fucking Lamborghini, man. I drive a fucking Toyota. I ride a bus. You know, fuck it. Let me full margin my account. Let me risk a little bit more money. No, man, that's not how it works.
That's not the right mindset.
That's not the mindset, man.
A lot of you guys are holding yourselves back because you keep over leveraging and blowing your accounts, right? For those of you, just like Daniel had said previously, for those of you that may not have a lot of capital in your name, simple, make your small deposit, focus on the percentage gain, and get funded larger amounts of capital. If you prove to yourself that you can make a return on your small account looking at the percentage, let's just say, 15%, in the last 3 months, each and every month you've made 15%, right? That's going to be a lot easier for you to sustain that than, obviously over leveraging your account, blowing it every single time, right? If you get funded, right, 15% on $100,000 account, you're talking about 15 G's, you've made in every single month. How? Practicing it on a lot smaller account, right? It becomes really simple once you start looking at the percentage gain and focusing on your money management and risk reward. That's why most people hold themselves back, is because they don't have a proper money management system in place. You'll be surprised. Once you start managing your money properly, you'll see you're going to grow a lot faster than you were previously.
I'm homeless. Wow. Look at this guy. Did you start with small account as well? 100%. Me, how I started, basically, I started with $100 and I lost it same day. Crazy. At the end of the day, it's not the amount of money you start with.
It's about the percentage gain. Simple.
It's basically because like we know people that started with 50K and lost it, like fucking insane. So at the end of the day, if you guys want to be profitable, you guys always
gotta focus on the percentage.
Exactly. So you always have to win more than you're losing. That's fucking clear as head. That's like I don't know how to fucking explain it, but you have to win more than you fucking lose. So at the end of the day, like I said, and we showed you, with the proper risk management, one win can make up for 2-3 losses, unless you're over leveraging. If you're over leveraging, risking 25, 30, 40%, you only have 2-3 tries, and then your whole account is wiped.
Whole account is gone.
If you're using 2-3% risk, you're gonna have to lose 100 fucking times to fucking lose the account. You know what I'm saying? Other than just 2-3 trades. So it's like, hey, you got 20, 30 tries to blow an account using 2 to 3% risk, 2 or 3% risk on your account, other than them risking more. So if you're risking 10%, you got 10 tries. If you're risking 3%, you got a fucking shitload of tries. You know what I'm saying?
I see a lot of people asking me about the whole funded program. I explain it in depth on my course, but I'm gonna explain it very vaguely here. Pretty much how this works is you have multiple options through this firm on what type of capital you want to get funded, right? If you want to get funded 10K, that's going to cost you, I believe it's $100 to apply, right? What you have to do is be able to make 10% of 10K within 30 days. They have other rules than just that, but you have to be able to make 10% within 30 days. And then you have to make 5% right after that, which if you can make 10%, right, it's going to be a lot easier for you to make 5%. Then you get funded, right? Now, if you want to apply for the $100,000 challenge, which pretty much you have to do the same exact thing, make 10% within 30 days, and then make 5% within 60 days. And if you could successfully do that, then you get funded 100K live account, right? But this challenge costs $700 to join or to apply to. If you obviously fail the challenge, you lose your money, right? If you pass the challenge, you get your funded account. Then with your first withdrawal, you get your initial $700 back, right? How can you start practicing with this? Simple, right? Depending on what account you have, right? Doesn't matter the balance, right? Start focusing on the percentage gain, right? Risk 1 to 2% per trade. It doesn't matter. Let's just say you have an $1,000 account, right? Risk 1 or 2% per trade, which should be anywhere between $10 to $20 per trade, right? And focus on this, right? Focus on making 10% of this. If you could successfully do that, then you can, the probability of you making 10% to 15% on a $100,000 account is the same, right? Why? Because you made the same percentage return within probably the same amount of time that you did up here, over here, risking the same 1 to 2%. The only thing that has changed is obviously your account balance and how much you're risking per trade. Now imagine if you're risking 1 to 2% on a $1,000 account, just 1% alone is $1,000 position. 2% alone is a $2,000 position that you're risking to make obviously anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000. Like I said, the only thing that's changing is how much money you're dealing with. The thing that stays the same is how much you're risking, right? The percentage-based gain and loss stays exactly the same, right? And the cool thing about this company is per strategy you have, let's say you're trading only double tops on gold, right? You're allowed to do one challenge 3 times, meaning you're allowed to get funded 300K per strategy, right? And every 4 months, right, if you come out 2.5% in profit for every 4 months, right, then they'll pretty much add 25% to this account balance. And you can pretty much compound your money. And within, I want to say 14 months, you can have 100% of 300K, which is obviously another 300K. So you'll be trading with 600K just by being profitable. It's as simple as that. Like I said, it's very vaguely. I've been getting a bunch of private messages here to kind of explain that. I go in detail more about it in the course, but I just kind of wanted to go over it really quickly then and there. You can find more information on the actual website that they provide. Again, the link is in my Instagram.
No, I did not go the funded route.
What's your leverage on gold? 1 to 100. Exactly. It's an incredible opportunity for those of you that don't have a lot of capital to your name, right? That's literally a life-changing opportunity. If you take the steps right now after this webinar and you start trading, looking to gain 1 to 2% or risk 1 to 2% per trade, right? Then obviously, you fix one issue, which is money management. You become way more disciplined, right? You become way more disciplined. Then on top of that, you have a bigger opportunity to manage more capital. It's fairly simple, right? And again, let's just say last month alone, I was able to make 25%. 25% of 100K is 25K, right? 25% of whatever balance, you could just do the math, right? It's as simple as that, right? Look to gain and trade more capital and risk a lot more, right? The one thing that I tell people, you don't really need that much money to start trading, right? You could start trading with $1,000, right? You just look to obviously gain more capital later on if you want to make trading, a livable income.
Yes, people, you guys will get the fucking coupon. Don't worry about it. Jesus. So at the end of the day, guys, this is what you guys need to keep in mind. 1, if you're over leveraging. 2, if you're not disciplined. And 3, if you're not patient,
you're
how
done.
the fuck you gonna make money? You're not. You're not gonna make money at all. You're gonna be here losing every single time. That's how I lost. Literally for 2.5 years, I was literally losing all my profits. I would have a good week and I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I made $7,000 this week. You know what? Fuck, let me risk like half of it. Let me risk half of it. You know what I'm saying? On this one trade, I would lose it and I'd get mad. So I'll do it again and blow a fucking account. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, guys, you guys need to focus on your risk management, your discipline, and your patience. Apply your strategy. At the end of the day, you got to look at this shit like a job. You got to look at this shit like school.
As a business.
It's a business. Exactly. If you're going to be lazy with it, because I know a lot of people are that, in my course, I can see how many times people have watched this video. I can see how many times they've logged in. I can see how many, seconds they've skipped in this fucking video. So I can see that, and I could look at people. I could look at this guy and be like, damn, this guy skipped through most of my course. And he's over here in my DM saying, oh, it's not clicking for me. It's not really working out for me. Of course it's not fucking clicking for you, man. You didn't watch it long enough. You didn't try. And if you don't try, how are you supposed to make it? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, a lot of people make it. A lot of people don't make it. A lot of people do. You just don't know who they are, And for the people that don't make it, like I said, 3 reasons.
It's on them.
3 reasons: patience, money management, and no discipline. You know what I'm saying? When you guys take a loss, when I take a loss, you know, let's say this is how I look at trading. You know, you got to look at trading different. You know, I look at my money differently. You know, let's say I'm fishing. You know, I'm in a lake. I'm fishing. You know, I'm fishing. Boom, boom, boom. I catch some fish. Okay, cool. You know, I got some profits. I got some fish. You know, and I go back and I fish, and a shark comes over here and takes my bait, my money. I would be a fucking dumbass to throw more bait where the shark is at. So if I take my loss, why the fuck am I gonna go back in there and lose? Shark is gonna come back and take my fucking fish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back the next day and I'm gonna fish some more. I'm gonna fish some more. I'm gonna get me some more fish. I'm gonna get me some more fish. You know, shit, a shark came back, got my fish. I'll come back tomorrow. Because if he just took my fish and I throw more, he's gonna keep eating my shit. And that's why people blow accounts, because they take losses on their over leveraged loss and they want to make it back. They're like, fuck, I gotta make it back. So you end up losing. Me, my biggest loss ever was $20,000. I lost it in 4 hours. That was my biggest loss ever. Why? Because I got stopped out like this on a news spike. I went against my rules. Trading when high impact news, boom, I lost. I forced my entry. I thought I was gonna win. Boom, I got mad. I lost. I win again. Boom, I lost. Boom, bro, I lost $20,000 in less than 4 hours. Why? Because I kept throwing fish to that same shark. I kept feeding that shark. You know, these markets, they're not here to make you win. They're not here to see you win. You know, at the end of the day, I'll be real with you, man. You guys are in the industry. It's ugly as fuck over here, man. These people that I used to look up to, people that, you know, I believed in, you know, now that I'm at a level where I can be like, hey, look, what's up, bro? You know, that we can, some of them, I don't even like them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody wants to see you win. Not everybody. I'm going to be real. Why don't they want to see you win? Because they want to keep making money off of you. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep making money off of you. And that's how it goes. You know? So when you see people like me and Raul, that's why me and Raul have become best friends, because, you know, we have the same goal and we have the same passion in this Forex industry. You know, we really want to help people. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do more webinars. You know, we're adding more content to our courses. You know, we're helping people get funded. You know, we actually really out here trying to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate all you guys who support us. You know what I mean? That means the world to us. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody really gives a fuck about you guys. And we really care about you. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that me coming from your position, because, hey, guys, you guys seen me before. You know, I ain't really had much. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to fucking speak well. You know, I ain't got no diploma. You know, I don't got this. You know, I have shit ass car wash. You know, hey, I ain't have no parents. I ain't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at my level right now. You know, I'm at where I'm at right now because when I got on these charts, it was do or die for me. You know what I'm saying? If I don't make it here on these charts, I'm not gonna make it in the world. I'm not gonna make it in the real world. I'm not. You know, McDonald's, they didn't even hire me, bro. I applied 2 times. And I only applied to McDonald's 2 times because I was tired of taking the bus to my car wash job. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to take the bus. Some dude used to bully me. You know, some dude used to make fun of me. He's like, man, get some white shoes. Get some new white shoes. Because I used to wear the same white shoes that were dirty as hell. But whatever, I didn't give a fuck at a car wash shop. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm living proof, man. This shit works. You know what I'm saying? Some people, a lot of people respect me, you know, and a lot of people fuck with me because they see the realness in me. You know what I mean? Me, some people will talk shit and be like, no, Daniel only makes money off his courses. You know, you can say that. But if you look through my page, you'll see, hey, I dropped $50,000 cash before I dropped the course. You know, that was trading money straight up. I didn't throw a course and then drop 50,000. I dropped 50,000 and then I dropped the course. So that right there, boom, big, that right there, you already know. If I'm going to do something extra, hey, that's because I really want to help you. At the end of the day, for the people who really know me before, I wasn't really on Instagram doing this. Why? Because I was focused. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, hey, people like me, people like Raul, we're not out here trying to make money off you guys. We're trying to help you guys and make you guys some money too. You know, yeah, there might be a price tag on this. There might be a price tag on that. But at the end of the fucking day, if everything was free, hey, you wouldn't be taken serious. You know what I'm saying? You guys see the results. You guys see the proof. What the fuck? It's not impossible. You guys just make it impossible in your head. So when you throw that out in the fucking universe, you say you're a shit trader because you're not winning. It's because you're not trying hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Me, every single time, I know I'm a winner. I know I'm a winner. Even if I lose, I know I'm a winner. You know what I'm saying? I got that winner mentality. I got that Mike Tyson mentality every single fucking time. So whenever I get into a trade, I know I'm going to win. And if I lost, guess what? I'm going to receive. Okay, what did I lose? Ah, shit. I lost because I didn't realize the support was not retested after it was broken. That's why it went up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I write that down. So guess what? I have it written down. So just in case on my next trade, I just check it out and be like, hey, look, I lost my last trade because, support wasn't retested after it was broken. So if I see that and I notice that loss, I'm not going to lose again because I'm not going to do the same shit. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys will lose over and over and over again because you guys take a loss on this one thing and you keep forgetting about this one thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to win every single fucking trade. Me, I don't win every single fucking trade. But you guys see the results. I win a lot more than I lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, because I know I'm going to win every single time. Every time I'm in these markets, I know I'm going to win. Every time I know I'm going to win. I know it for a fact. Because what I got up here, when you got a skill set and you got a mindset, nobody can take that shit away from you. That shit right there, overpowered. As long as you got to drive, you going to make it.
Yes,
I made it.
You will have access to the replay
100%.
later. Someone just asked me, are you guys affiliated with FIP? No, we are not.
Not at all.
We're not affiliated with FIP, nor do we teach what they teach.
Nothing like them. We are, how can I say this professionally, Ro?
It's different.
Not different. Like we're just from Miami.
Yeah.
Basically.
Anyways, someone just asked me too. You don't need to win more trades than you lose to be profitable. You can win the same amount of trades you lose to be profitable. The only thing you have to pay attention to and compensate with is your risk to reward ratio. Fuck, I know there's traders. I've talked to professional traders who've been trading for 15 years that win only 30% of the time. They win 30% of the time and are profitable.
So
no damn horoscopes. I know what that is.
All right. So, I want to ask you guys a question, man. So
I wanted to thank everybody for the support too, the continuous love as well.
Yeah, you guys are lit. Let me tell you guys. All right. So let me ask you guys a question, man. A lot of people don't have our courses here. So what courses do you guys have? Like, what is your recent course? Like, what courses do you have? How many courses? Me, I took a lot of courses, and what courses do you have? Okay. All right. So we see a lot of
a lot of WSA, a lot of Ryan.
Yeah, a lot of Ryan.
Urban Forex. I'm aware of him. A lot of Astro, Momo's course. Ricky. If you're talking about Risky Ricky, I'm about to throw up.
All right, cool. So now let me ask you guys a question.
Ricky G.
Let me ask you guys a question. How many times have you gone over these guys' courses? How many times have you gone over the course that you bought?
Stop mentioning Risky Ricky. I'm literally
3 times, 2 times,
disgusting.
20 times. I like that. 5 times, 3, 4, 5, 3 times, twice.
The thing about our courses compared to everyone else's, we continuously update them on a weekly, if not daily basis.
Yeah, guys, like, Red Packet, Wall Street Academy, those videos are 4 years old. Market is always changing. 4 years ago, that strategy could have made you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, most of it is still applied nowadays, but the markets, they're continuously trading. They're changing. Euro USD 3 years ago, nobody wanted to trade anything else. Everybody was trading Euro USD.
Oh man,
only Euro USD.
So old.
And now Euro USD, bro, is one of the most dead pairs in the market now. GBP USD is now in the position where Euro USD is. You know what I'm saying? So markets are continuously changing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, guys, this is why we ask this. If you've gone over something multiple times and it's just not working for you, it's not your fault. It's not you. it just might be that that course is not for you. You know, me, I took a lot of courses, and let me tell you, most of them were fucking garbage. Most of them were fucking garbage. Why? Because a lot of people out here, they teach the same exact fucking shit. The only difference is that cocksucker has a blue Ferrari and that cocksucker has a green Ferrari. It's just same shit. So people think it's different. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, guys, what's not working for you, just like a test in high school or middle school, hey, if you're stuck on it, move on. If you're not making money from this course, move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for my students. If my strategy is not working for you, hey, move the fuck on. At the end of the day, you see me bring results to my table with my strategy. So at the end of the day, it fucking works for me. So if you don't want to make it work for you, move on, 100%. But you guys seen the testimonials. You guys seen the results. Most of my students take the same exact trades as me. And for somebody to take the same exact trade as their teacher, their six-figure teacher, why are they not going to make six figures if they're taking the same trades? You know what I'm saying? You got to get that fucking mindset. That mindset. Look at your money differently. Like I said, guys, once you start looking at your money differently, everything starts to follow.
Another thing that separates 100%. Us as well from other people is, I don't know about Daniel, but me personally, I try and get to all my students' questions through the Discord community every 24 hours. I just don't answer questions on the weekends, but I will get to your questions within 24 hours. That's one thing. And we both have different things to offer as well. Both of our courses have different things to offer.
Yeah, like for example, my course is not 3-hour videos each course. No, each video is like 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Like, bro, my shit is so thoroughly explained. For example, me, I don't have an education. I don't. So I have a learning disability also. I have ADHD. So learning is hard as fuck for me. For me to learn something is hard. So imagine when it came to teaching it, you know, a lot of my students are profitable, and I've only been launched almost 4 months. And imagine, I got so many good testimonials because my course is basically explained to you so thoroughly that a fucking retard can make money, because I explain to you like you're fucking stupid. So since I explain to you like you're retarded, it's going to hit you and it's going to click easy. You're going to be like, oh, wait, okay, cool. Now I understand. You know, A, B, oh, C. Instead of like, hey, look, no, that's not how it is, man. You know, my shit is 1 + 1 = 2.
Basically, our videos get straight to the point right off the bat. We don't blabber on about a bunch of shit.
And you guys will see, we trade what we preach. You know what I'm saying?
We practice what we preach, which is what's most important. A lot of people don't do that. There's a lot of garbage nowadays. You have to be careful.
Yeah,
you guys trade any other pair? Garbage. No, we've both been trading gold ever since I put Daniel on gold.
100%.
And we've both been killing it on gold. Yeah, what do you think about Emil's course and strategies? I mean, if you don't speak Spanish, there's no point of going to Emil. If you only speak Spanish, then yeah, Emil's the only person I would trust. Emil's cool as fuck. He knows what he's talking about. Sorrel, do you scalp too? Yes, I do scalp as well. It depends on the market environment.
Also, guys,
I got your course and it's the fucking shit. Daniel, you are next. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What?
One-time payments on both. Yeah, both of our courses are one-time payments, except just like Daniel has his multiple packages, my course is everything in one. Do you suggest we only trade gold? I mean, it depends on how fast you could read price. But yeah, gold is definitely a pair I would recommend getting into. That's definitely one of my favorite pairs. The structure is very easy to read. It does these huge trends where you could catch these huge moves. Will there be a link to rewatch this and for the coupon? I don't know how we'll post the coupons for our courses, but yes, there will be a link to rewatch this.
All right, guys. My coupon, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm only going to hold it for 24 hours. I'm not going to hold it for a week or 2 weeks. Just because it's not fair to my other students.
Just post a link in the fucking chat.
Yeah, my coupon is going to be 50 off, 50 off, OFF. You get $50 off. So you kind of make your money back on this webinar to the course. So if you guys want to catch it, it's 50 off. It'll only be available for 24 hours and then I will remove it.
You know, same thing as mine. You can just click on the link. My coupon will be code webinar at checkout, or just click on the link. It'll be also be up for 24 hours. Anyways, let's get to the last questions here. Yes, it's a one-time payment. I just got a private message. My course is a one-time payment, lifetime access. You can ask me questions on this.
Who has the worst course of all time? I want to hear it. Who do you guys think has the shittiest course? I want to see.
IML for sure. 100%.
Oh, you guys are savages.
IM Academy. They had to rebrand because they were getting sued. IML. Risky Ricky.
Yo, he followed you, bro.
Risky Ricky? Scam? Get him out of my face.
Did you just
Get him out of my fucking face. I'm disgusted hearing that name. I heard he stole $10,000 from some kid who was going through health issues. It's disgusting.
That's fucked up.
What is the most important part of your trading psychology? All right, guys, let's do this, right? Out of 100%, technical analysis is only 20%. 30% goes to money management, and whatever percentage is left goes to basic psychology, FOMO, greed, all those emotions.
Risky Ricky.
You have professors following you from IG. I have professors from IML taking my course and reselling it. Thank you for putting them on Wix Online. Wix Online is also a GOAT. Yeah, my course content is all listed. So if you go on my website, you could see all the content topics and even watch some of the videos for free.
No, you can't see what I have in there because what I have to offer is very different from everybody. So I don't want people to fucking steal my shit or get any ideas. They're going to have to pay. You know what I mean? Like I said, guys, I don't trade like anybody else. My trading strategy is very fucking different. Very different. So I'm not trying to.
Risky Ricky looks like
it's either you buy it or you don't buy it. Daniel, is the coupon valid for the aftermath? No, it's not. To be honest, the aftermath, I was gonna make the aftermath like $300, just because it's very. You guys seen that? Yo, $10,000 in 2 days just scalping? What the fuck?
If you can't find entries,
I made over $60,000 trading off the aftermath strategy.
What
took me months to
fundamentals
perfect it.
follow for your swing?
150? That's ridiculous. At the end of the day, guys, me and Raul, you know, I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say this, but like we don't depend on sales. You know, yeah, it helps us out, but you know what? We actually make money here. We make money on the charts. So if we have a price,
sale, I don't mind.
Yeah, basically. Like cool, a sale, that's amazing. Cool, gas money. Okay,
whatever.
But at the end of the day,
pays for my tires.
At the end of the day, we make money on these charts. We don't depend on your money. We don't. Not a lot of people do. We don't. We make money on these charts. You know what I'm saying? So we want to continuously keep practicing what we preach. Is that how you say it, bro?
100%.
All right, cool.
Laugh my ass off.
So at the end of the day, guys,
sale, then it gets cheaper.
at the end of the day, guys, you rarely ever see discounts just because, you know, it's not who we are. You know what I mean? Right here, we don't depend on it. You know what I mean?
How do you set up fibs while charts is moving? Simple. Previous low to the current high. It's as simple as that. Me personally, how I set my fibs is from the lowest point of the swing to the highest point of the swing. Why? Because we're getting the whole measurement of that price movement. It's pretty simple. People overcomplicate fibs just like people overcomplicate entry. Let me talk about entries very quickly, right? It's simple. If you're looking to enter, let's just say in this zone from the 38.20 to the 50%, all you're going to look for, right? Let's make this red for bearish. All you're going to look for is this. A price action signal in your zone. Once you see that, press that buy, press that sell button, right? Set your stop loss appropriately, set your targets appropriately. It's that simple. Entries is something that people focus too much on and waste too much time on, right? If price comes to your zone, just look for an entry signal.
Yeah, that's why my take profits are all at the 23.
On the same
0,
time frame, yes, on the
27.
same time frame.
Yep.
If your setup is based off the 4-hour time frame, then you have to enter off the 4-hour time frame, unless you're looking for like a reversal pattern, like a double bottom or a double top. Because what will happen is you'll have an earlier entry, and price can actually go against you because you never had your price action signal on the 4 hour.
Yes, I speak Spanish.
Mama huevo.
Yes, you can only get the aftermath after the bundle.
Mama huevo.
Yo, do you guys know who the purple woman is?
Come mierda, bro.
Yo, if you guys want to follow a badass, she's a badass. Like, she's one of the best female traders that I know. Like, the purple woman, you guys got to follow her. Yo, she's one of the baddest females I've ever met, bro. Like, she's really, really good at trader. Like, she scares me how good she is. You know what I mean?
I just got another PM. My coupon code is webinar. Simple. It's not bad.
For everybody thinking that we're going to be honest here, for people like, damn, you guys made a lot of money on this webinar. To be honest, that money is being donated for tax write-offs. So we got to pay a lot of taxes. So we putting that towards donations.
Anyways, let's 155 open questions. How often does RSI divergence work on gold? Again, every strategy loses more than loses, right? The best thing for you to do is just backtest it and you'll get your verified answer. So just simply backtest RSI divergence on gold and you'll get your win-loss ratio. Is coding a good career? Just gonna have I'm currently having an algo made.
How old are you guys? Fuck that.
It's very interesting. I wouldn't say coding is a good career for Forex though. I wouldn't say that.
All right, so there's a lot of people here in their 20s. All right, cool.
14.
20, 40, 41. God damn, a boy. 45. 69. Oh, don't even play.
87.
No, be serious, guys.
We got Abuelito Pedro in here trying to learn how to trade. This man said 87.
All right, so we see a lot of people in their 20s. Cool. Now look at this.
Or all the same age, practically.
Now look at this, guys. Look at this. Me, I just turned 23. Raul, he's turning 22 in August. Now look at this. We already have a skill set that can make us money for the rest of our lives.
And we can compound our money like no other. So imagine where we're going to be when we're 30.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
So I don't know, at 30, I'm going to be retired. I don't know. I'm going to be fucking somebody's mom or somebody's daughter somewhere. I don't give a fuck. Or 100%. Fucking them both at the same time on an island. Who gives a shit? But look at this. For example, I'm at a level right now. Guys, where I can average making $30,000 a month. You guys see me make $20,000 in one day. You see me make $10,000 in 2 days, $6,000 in one day. I can average $30,000 a month. Let's say, for example, I do that for the next 5 years. That's $1.8 million. Okay. My bills at the end of the year are $60,000. That's my bills. Okay. Look at this. My bills, let's say, okay, 2 years. I buy 2 years of trading. Okay. I don't have to pay my bills for many years. Many years. I can live okay. You know what I'm saying? Back to the subject because I'm getting off. Okay, so average $30,000 a month at my level for next 5 years. That's $1.8 million. That's almost $2 million where I could invest at least half of that into the real world and make passive income where that money can make me money. So I don't have to live off trading anymore. Because to be honest, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't want to trade forever. Why the fuck do I want to keep putting money in this market? I don't. All the money that I get from this market, I get it and I put it in the real world. Why? Because guess what? I want my money 10 the fuck X'd, 100%. I want to make more than $30,000. I want to have money coming in while I'm sleeping. I want to make $30,000 a month from outside investments, not just the charts. If I make $30,000 a month in a chart, that's $60,000 after my investments. I keep it up. I keep doing that. I keep doing that. I keep doing that. I keep doing that. I don't have to trade anymore, man. I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to make so much money in 1 month that I'm going to pay for my whole bills for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, guys, my bills are $60,000 a year. I could pay for 1 whole year of bills in 2 fucking months, literally, if I average my 30K average. You know what I'm saying? So 2 months of hardcore struggling in these fucking charts, putting my everything, okay, boom, I made my 60K. Guess what? All my fucking bills are paid for the next year. Now, guess what? My mind is thinking, okay, I got breathing space. I got space to breathe. Guess what? You know, I can trade more patiently, more risk management. You know, I can do this. Anything after that is pure fucking money. You know what I'm saying? I can get robbed right now. I can go to jail right now for 10 years. You lose everything. I come back out. Guess what? All I'm gonna need is $1,000, which I can get that like this. If I gotta rob somebody to do it when I get out of jail, who gives a fuck? I get back on these markets, I can make that money and I can get back to my level within 1 year, 100%. At the end of the day, I got a skill set. I got a skill set and a mindset. So I don't have to have $1 to my name, but I can get $1. That's 100% a fact. And I can put that dollar to use, and my skill set is gonna make me money for the rest of my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? This skill set will make me money for the rest of my life. And that's what you guys don't understand. If you guys can get that skill set and grasp it like how I grabbed and grasped mine, how Raul did his, bro, we're set. We're okay. We're good. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we don't need to fucking be here. We don't. Why? Because we got our shit together. You know what I'm saying? We are here to help you. You know, we want to kind of get you guys out there. We kind of got you guys kind of like feeling what we feel. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm chilling. 4 or 5 years ago, fuck. I would have sucked dick to make money. $350 a week in the hot ass sun for 60 hours a week in the sun? Bro, $18,000 in 1 fucking year. I made that in 1 fucking day trading. Imagine, bro. Let me just be real with y'all. Daniel Savage. Hey, bro, I'm gonna be real with y'all too,
Daniel
man.
Suspect, bro.
Shut up, bitch. I remember I fucking, I let a fucking 45-year-old suck my dick for like $60 one time. Ugh. I needed trading money, bro. When I was 17, the struggles were real, bro. Let me tell y'all. Hey, she wasn't that bad, though. She wasn't that bad. Shit. I remember I fucked don't tell nobody this. I'm gonna just be real with y'all.
Don't tell nobody this. Let me just tell 250 people.
Don't matter.
And the other 250 that are gonna watch the recording.
Let me tell you
Don't tell
guys.
nobody.
When I was 18, I fucked this fat bitch. Literally a whole entire weekend, bro. Literally for $500, just so that way I can buy somebody's course. I'm not telling y'all to go fucking suck dick for money to buy courses. I'm not telling y'all, but I'm just gonna tell y'all that was me when I had nothing. You know what I mean? I went and I got it done. Moral of the story, what I'm just trying to tell you guys is, hey, if you want it bad enough, you're gonna fucking get it. Now, guess what? Daniel Savage don't need to fuck fat bitches anymore. There's a lot of shit you guys don't know about me, bro. Let me tell y'all. Woo!
Anyways, guys, at the end of the day, if you put in the work, you will see results.
Hey, I never fucked a black bitch. Stop trying me. I'm not ready for purple pussy. It be the fat ladies at the market. Hell
Dan
no,
the Suspect.
Ew, bro. I'll never forget her, bro. Bitch had a big ass fucking boil on her ass, bro. I'll never forget that shit. Oh, godly. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do, guys, if you want to make that money, bro. Let me tell you.
It's like that PS5 meme.
Hashtag Daniel don't need to fuck no fat bitches anymore, bro. All right, guys. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. I think it's time to cut this to the, you know what I mean? Daniel, ¿puedes hacer un ejemplo en tiempo real? Get the bundle. Hashtag no more fat bitches.
No more fat bitches.
Live trade. There's nothing to look at. Ain't nothing to see.
There ain't gonna be anything to see till probably 1 a.m.
Fibs over fat bitches. Love that. The struggle is real. 100%. So who is your favorite trader, guys? Who's your favorite trader? The fuck? Oh, Risky Ricky.
I appreciate the support for everyone sending me. Risky Ricky. The cardiac arrest. That's disgusting.
Daniel.
Ugh, Risky Ricky. Get that the fuck
Another
out of my
webinar.
face.
Fuck that.
Get
Oh
that
shit.
out of my face. Christopher Terry.
I'm gonna fuck Christopher Terry's grandmother. Watch.
Hashtag Daniel Savage likes old bitches.
Hey man, you gotta get that funding somehow, bruh. Fat bitch funding. Fuck the
Fat
world.
bitch funding. Oh man, I'm gonna stop the recording here. Stop recording. All right, perfect. All right, I stopped the recording here. So,
all right, guys, Daniel Savage, man, it is 10:39 right now. I will be going live on Instagram at 10:45. So I'm gonna go live on Instagram for like 15 minutes if you guys want to join. I do want to hear what you guys thought about this webinar, man. What did you guys think? I want to hear some feedback, man.
Yeah, send me some feedback too to my DMs.
100%, guys. If you guys do want to get our courses, they will be on promo right now, just for a limited time. And 50 off. So if you guys want to go do that, now it's all up to you. Yep. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go take a shit. I'm going to go make some macaroni. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, but I'm out, guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going live at 10:45 in 5 minutes. Peace, bitch. How do I leave?
The awkward moment where you don't know how to leave the webinar.
Oh, I did it.
Anyways, like I said previously, my discount code is webinar. I'm getting a lot of PMs. So use it at checkout, discount code webinar. Regardless of the fact, I wanted to thank everybody for the support. The recording will be sent to your emails, or I will share the link to the actual cloud once it's done rendering, which should be in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Send me your feedback on what you think on the webinar through my Instagram DM. And again, thank you guys all for the continuous love and support. And of course, if you ever have any questions, feel free to contact me at any time. I'll talk to everybody later. Peace. Oh, and by the way, I promise I will have a next time, or a webcam next time for the webinar.